try find something to complain about. You're tilting at mill. That's what I do. When I fight something when it exists.
That's my.
You can't.
I agree.
You can't.
They're finding a problem for the solution.
You try find a problem that don't exist.
I agree.
Just because uno not do it, it not mean say it do wrong. So I just find something else argue about. Because this now makes sense. Oh, you have to open an A&E department without the equipment. All right then, let's say we get the equipment then. Why we go create more work for ourselves for register the equipment then backdating? That now makes sense, brethren. I bet I will reconcile.
No, but you're coming fool, you're coming stupid this now. Who said anything like that?
You said that I better open A&E department, sir. I listen to you carefully.
So what is the point? You're going to open the admin a year and a half before the actual heartbeat of the hospital.
Let me break down.
And you're listening no, but you're talking.
No, you're not. But you talk longer. You're not getting nowhere because you're not making sense.
You talk crap.
No.
You have work to do on your house and the core function of your house.
No,
you
sir.
can't do it.
I not accept that.
But somebody build a container in their house because they need an administrative quarter.
Sir, I not accept that, sir. Sir, in admin, let's break down admin. Admin is made up of finance, HR to employ the people. Finance, what uno PMP love talk about corruption. So every penny we spend have to be reconciled and accounted for. So let's break down admin, because it seems like admin are beat to the word admin. Let's break it down. Procurement, medication to buy, equipment.
Hold on the Hugh.
Hugh just chill, man.
Skyfire, you just mentioned something a while ago, which is one of the biggest aspects as to why the admin block has to be open first. And you talk about employing people.
HR, yes.
Do you know how many people will have to be employed at the Cornwall Region and Western Children's Hospital?
Ask them, because them have all of the answers. Ask them today.
Right.
Hold on. Let me ask a question. You said them spend $2 million a month posting most of the admin functions offsite, correct? Would you agree then a lot of those functions could have been delegated remotely and a lot more effort be placed on getting the actual hospital up to running?
No, the hospital don't work like that, you know. We not allow.
You just said the man them physically there on site, and clearly the function was going on.
RJ, listen to me carefully. The hospital is being worked on. It is estimated to be completed sometime next year. The minister announced a phased occupation of the hospital, with the first phase being admin. That has been done, and the other phases should be coming within a matter of months.
Chops, you see,
right now, as it is, the contractors are doing their thing in putting in the partitions, and the procurement of equipment has been done. And I think those equipment at the last meeting I was on, not to divert the discussions in meeting, but over 200 and odd containers will be on the sea very shortly. Some of which is slated to arrive in February. So there's a lot of containers that have been shipped and on its way to Jamaica. At the completion of both Cornwall and Western Child, it will be the largest of its kind in the English-speaking Caribbean. It is something that we should be proud of, and I see no reason for us to be even here having a discussion, trying to find and create something, negative about a project that every Jamaican, whether you're PNP, JLP, or no P, you should be proud of this achievement. We're able to fix a hospital that has been lingering for decades, 1972 until now, with lack of maintenance. And we have been able to fix it. We should be happy that we have a country with an economy that was able to facilitate a lot of it. The project, the Cornwall Regional Project, is not being funded by borrowed money. It's funded by our local economy. The Western Children's Hospital is a gift to us by the Chinese government. However, there's a significant amount of it that we are undertaking in terms of modification of some of the equipments and other additions to the facilities. We should be proud of it. I don't think we should be even sitting here arguing as to whether or not admin should be before something else. We should be celebrating, whether you're PNP, GLP, or no P. When Jamaica wins, all of us win. I think on that note, that's where I would end.
On that note, we will close the carnival discussion. I agree with you.
With that, that's the benediction. There's nothing further to say.
There's nothing more to add.
Nothing further to say.
And the carnival regional discussion.
So,
But since we have my good friend Hugh here. Stay right
there.
Yeah, man, before.
No, man, I'm not going away, man. But a question which I posed to my friend Chaps 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Could we all agree, or can we all agree, that the Children's Hospital in Western Jamaica should be named for Portia Simpson?
The government will decide who must name, man.
Why, Mr. Blair? Why?
Because Portia was the one who got it.
I might have a problem. For me, I might have a problem with a black inspired enough. I don't have a problem with the credit. Somebody credit going to Portia Simpson. She was the one who negotiated this deal. She's the first female prime minister of Jamaica.
No.
She's somebody that even Labour right lover made it love Portia Simpson. And I don't find a problem with naming a black or two after her over there. I don't have an issue. As it named, this is the name Western Children Adults Hospital. That name can stand, but a wing or so, we name it after our.
That's all. That's unreasonable. Winner.
Yeah. Dr. Eldemeyer would have contributed significant to our health system in Western Jamaica.
Whole thing after she too?
Winner. But back to the original thing when I ask you, a land reform, we actually come to talk to Chuck about.
Yeah, we talk about your land reform issue, yeah.
Zine? Right. So what I'm saying to you, my expectation is this. Zine, and we can use the hospital that shall not be named as the same example. A lot of times you hear say a program I go start and it I go done by such time, and then such time come, it's still not done because this have to do and that have to do and that.
Give an example of one such.
Make we not go this sucker. Go
yes,
back to
man, we
loop.
need to, because you are saying things that
it's important, sir.
We now go back to this. So what I'm saying to you, here's my expectation. Zine, I'm gonna criticize the program yet, you know. I think we need to know. You say it's a 5-year program, excellent. What is the manpower that is required now?
Not the rehabilitation process. You know that's going to be over a decade or two, right? To fully recover from what happened to us.
Respectfully, though. Hold on. Respectfully, this can't take 2 decades.
The new organization, the new ministry that was being named, NARA, have a lifespan of 5 years.
Good.
And will serve what this administration.
So, are you saying that this is just the lifespan, or are you saying the project itself is going to span 5 years?
The ministry that was named, because we don't know if
it's an agency.
The agency have a lifespan of 5 years. So it will be serving out the administration.
So technically, we don't have an estimate. And this is not me being bad, but questions I pose. We don't really have a time estimate.
But I just, hold on, Bridget, hold on.
A time estimate for what?
Estimate for what? As to when you want a time estimate as to when every house will be rebuilt, every house, every road are going to
rebuild. No, not necessarily every house.
Stop. Jamaica is projected. Hold on, Jamaica is projected.
Wait, we know. Just give them a brief.
Jamaica is projected to spend $6.7 billion over 3 years. That is what the International Monetary Fund, the package that was provided, saying that, listen, we are projecting Jamaica to spend this amount over 3 years.
And Jamaica is now putting in place the mechanism to fast track that spending, because our bureaucracy doesn't give rise to that kind of spending.
Right. So Chops, what I was specifically talking about, which is what we originally asked, Chuck, the details in regards to this accelerated land titling program. So I'm not even reach a housing development yet, you know.
Okay.
right? I'm talking about the informal settlements and all those people who would have suffered displacement, but who occupied the land for a certain number of time. What I'm saying is that it's a nice proposal, it sounds good, but there needs to be meat and substance. So I'm asking about the meat and substance. What is the number, or at least, what is the number of persons? You understand? You expect to title. Wait, no, let me ask the question.
NARA is currently being formed, right? So that the agents will have the legislative framework to operate on behalf of the government for the national rebuilding effort. Now, on the ground, we're having assessments, right? Because you have to assess the people.
No, he's talking about land.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but that's a part of the assessment to Chopper. We have to now assess. We would have already know where the informal communities are, right? And if they were damaged, they were impacted.
They're doing that right now. That has already been done.
So what are you talking about?
Oh, wait, no, so if it's already been done.
You and I, RJ, the common man, the electorate, would have an idea yet in terms of the numbers, because if those data has been collected, they are being collected now.
So when is it that we are going to be made aware that, let's say, I
would suspect that budget debate will be getting some of the information.
Budget debate.
Yeah, when them finish them assessment, because respectfully, this is a problem that's been happening for decades in Jamaica. You can't expect one administration.
But we know. Your statement a while ago has implication, you know.
Oh,
when you say budget,
Sabler.
When you
but that's my expectation, my expectation.
No, but I think his answer is fair, because the truth of the matter is, you know, and this is why I'm asking these specific questions. You need to know the budget to do this. You need to know how much people you're going to hire to do this. And you need to know how much people you're going to help, and you need to know the time frame in which you're going to accomplish the project. Those four things have to be said.
RJ,
yes.
As it stands now, the government has conducted a comprehensive geomapping of the affected areas, the parishes, and or by constituency, the areas that have been affected by Hurricane Melissa. Geomapping, yeah? What they have done now is the SDC and other agencies of the state have been mandated to employ persons. I think there was a push to get some of the trainees, heart trainees and others to participate in the program. What they will do is to do an assessment of individuals who have been affected. When you're filling out the information, you have to provide the geomapping stamp of the area. So for example, if you go to Hugh Blair's house in Westmoreland, in Bluefields, he got damaged by the hurricane.
Why you think Westmoreland Hugh Blair was there?
Hugh Blair will now have to provide his TRN, and pictures of the damage will be done by the individual doing the assessment, and a location, a geolocation will be sent along with all the other information. When that goes into the ministry has the mechanism to determine whether or not this particular location, this half an acre or quarter acre, was owned by Hugh Blair, or he was just simply squatting. Now, once you send in that information, they would have already have the pictures of before the storm, because the entire island has been geomapped already, right? For other reasons.
So two important questions come up, right? Well, three, right? One, you mentioned the word squatting. One of the things that was proposed is to lower the requirement of occupying the land from 60 years to 25 years.
It's not a proposal. They have done it already.
Okay. So anybody that has been there for 25 years, you're saying they're going to get the title for that land.
And
It's not a matter of getting the title. You'll be getting a pathway to ownership, meaning you're going to have to pay a fee. Nobody not going to issue no land gear. Because what I think a lot of people, particularly in Westmoreland, is waiting for is for some program to come about where they're going to just hand over land to you.
Yes.
That's not what the program is. The program will be creating a pathway to ownership. And that is not exclusive to Westmoreland. There are instances in St. James Central where persons would have been occupying lands that were not theirs for many years. And the Member of Parliament would have lobbied with the housing agency or with NHT, and they would have been put on a regularization program where they have been given the cost for the land and a payment plan in place for them to pay, whether it is 400,000 or 300,000. And in most cases, you're getting the land at a price that is significantly lower than what the actual value is. So when you pay 400,000 for that piece of land with your house and the land space and all of that, the true value of that piece of land could be about 2 or 3 million. So the government is literally putting money in your pocket through that initiative. So that is what I must.
Question, chaps.
Yeah.
And let me bring some data. It is said that a quarter of the population of Jamaica, which is 700,000 persons, live in informal or squatter settlement.
Yes.
With the program which is being implemented for the western parishes who were destroyed by Hurricane Melissa, does the government have a plan for an island-wide land reform? Because while Melissa might have destroyed section of the western island, the next upcoming hurricane season, we could see section of the eastern island or the central part of the island being destroyed. Shouldn't the program be a program which take into consideration the whole island? And the reason for saying that is that the government, in a couple of weeks ago, mentioned that they are going to go to Parliament and legislate purpose-built legislation to govern rebuilding after Melissa. So shouldn't that be comprehensive?
It is, but you see, but the thing is, Hugh Blair, one of the problems I think a lot of people face is that they don't understand that these initiatives are already in place. In other words, the land, but not just NARA. The land reform has been taken place. Just think about the amount of titles that have been issued prior to Melissa.
It's not that we don't know that their proposals. What I'm saying is details, figures, and numbers. They matter.
Yeah, but they announced. But what I'm saying to you, my brother, is that, for example, there's a mobile unit set up in LAMP. There was LAMP. You remember LAMP, right? LAMP was a subsidiary of housing agency, I believe, on titling, and they were responsible for assisting persons to get their titles. No, listen, that has been going on. It didn't need Melissa for that to be activated, and Melissa didn't stop it. It still continues. But what I'm saying to you is that while Hugh Blair is asking for it to be comprehensive, and I'm saying to him that yes, but you have to focus on what is at hand now, which is the affected areas. Those will have to be dealt with first.
But chaps, even just last week, the government was in St. Elizabeth, where they gave out some 700 land titles. And remember, the process of doing that, the process of handing out titles
didn't start at Melissa.
It never start after Melissa. So that process is something that is ongoing. It has always been ongoing.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's the answer to the question that you be asked, Chuck. That is going to be island-wide.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's always been island-wide. No, there's gonna be special attention placed to the 5 affected parish. But the process of land reform, you Blair, is island-wide. every single parish.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know that personally, every single parish them do it.
Yeah. Yes, sir. That's why I want to put.
But I want to ask a serious question, though, chaps, and Chuck. For persons that were not impacted by Hurricane Melissa, are you willing for the government to increase taxes on your back so that we can build houses for free for the persons that were impacted for Hurricane Melissa? Are you willing to see more coming out of your paycheck? Are you willing to pay more in fees and duties when you go to the stores, when you go to do business with the government, when you go to license your business, when you go to pay your taxes? Are you willing to contribute by their taxes so that those houses can be built?
Can I answer that? Can I answer that too?
Hold on. I wanted to add something.
Allow Dexter to come in.
Yeah, I wanted to add something to the.
Hey, Chuck, you need to answer, because enjoy the question too much.
Yeah, of course, more answer.
No, man. Allow Dexter to make a presentation.
No, man. I just wanted to add something real quickly to the whole land reform issue, because I've heard you, Blair, and the gentleman RJ on it. And I just want to let the panel and the listeners know that this program in terms of land reform has been in train since before the last election, right? And the hurricane damage, you, Blair, is not something that brought the program on the table, because you must remember too that after the election, the Prime Minister, to accelerate the program, the Prime Minister created a ministry in the Ministry of Economic Development to fast track it. That portfolio was given to Montague.
Mm-hmm.
So all of this has been in train since before the storm. So this is not a new initiative. It's an initiative to drive land ownership and land titling throughout the island, throughout the entire 14 parishes. But he's now saying, listen, we're gonna have to expedite this program, and we're gonna create a ministry that actually deals with this thing, because it is of paramount importance. And don't forget too that it is the Prime Minister of Jamaica who has consistently on political platforms in the Parliament talks about land ownership, the importance of it, and how it can create generational wealth. Because it doesn't hold any good for you to have property and you're not able to use that property to go even borrow some money to even access NHT benefits. It doesn't, and he has been the one who ad nauseum has been repeating this, on the political platform.
Well,
and,
to be fair, we have been saying that a long while.
And that's why I've been saying to them. And that's why I've been saying to them just now that one should not assume that this is a program to just walk around and do what other administration have done before.
Yeah.
No names called here, but where they would have use the whole method of point finger. Where you point up a breadfruit tree to a mango tree and say, take a piece. And when I went to Portland back in 2019 to campaign with Anne-Marie Vaz, I met quite a few persons up there who are holders of several acres of land. And all they have on it is a shed that I live in, a little zinc shed that I live in. And I asked him where the boundary. He said, no, man, my boundary go all the way back down to the Aki tree down there, Sonny go round. So, and when you ask him to provide you with that title, he has no documentation, not even a receipt for taxes. So we are moving away from that. And what I have seen so far in some of the titles that have been distributed or some of the process is that, I'll give you one typical example. There's an area in St. James that is occupied by persons for many, many years. And the ministry came in and they did an assessment. And what they did was they did a survey of the area, and they do what is called an as-is design. So wherever you occupy, wherever you live, they would literally just draw a line around that and give to you that space. And they would have done hundreds of those. And they went back to the ministry, design a costing, because there's a cost to it. There's no free lunch here. And they would have come back to those persons and said, okay, well, your lot is going to cost you 600,000, yours is going to cost you 450,000. And when I said 600,000, I don't think there was any that cost over $1 million. So everything was under $1 million. But the truth is, when the process is completed, that same piece of land that they paid 400,000 for actually value about 1.5. So what the government, the program the government is developing is actually putting money in your pocket in terms of value, asset. So you feel like a valuable contributor to society. And especially in Westmoreland, where there's a lot of persons who occupy lands that are either state-owned or owned by some private company. I think government is now going to have to negotiate to find an amicable way of passing on those lands to the persons who occupy them at a rate that they can afford. And then that will add some value to them. But it is something that is happening. It's been expedited, as the gentleman said earlier. And there's a ministry created for it. I was saying that earlier, that this is how serious the government is about it. There's actually a department within OPM that is dealing specifically with that. So these are things that you must celebrate as well, Hugh.
But Chubbs, I want to add to, because the gentleman.
Next time, before you go, let me indulge Winner to read the section of NARA which specifically deals with land reform as it is expected to be island-wide for us. Meanwhile, Winner is getting that next, and then you can go ahead.
All right, but I want to say to the gentleman though, because he said that the PNP has had this on proposal for a very long time, and we're not talking about that kind of land.
No, that's not what I said.
No, you said that big.
No, when you mention the whole generational wealth, it's something that we personally have been talking about for more than a year now. So that's specifically what I was talking about.
That was included in the manifesto as well.
Exactly. So that is what I was
saying. I thought you were talking about with regards to... No, I thought you were talking...
Wealth. Generational wealth has been a part of my platform for the longest while.
I don't know about that, Chuck.
One of the easiest
I don't know about that.
Really? You have never heard me, Winner, Lashika, Chops over here and spend hours talking about creating generational wealth?
Honestly, no. And it's something we always talk about.
All right.
Generational. Chuck, hold on here, Chuck. Generational wealth, you know. That term generational wealth was introduced into the political.
All right. Hold
on here, you Blair, before he reads it. Before he reads it. That term generational wealth has been introduced into the political narrative here by Andrew Holness. We never hear that term before. Where did we hear that term on a PNP platform? You know where it was introduced. Hold on there, you Blair, man. Hold on, man. I know you want to hear about NARA, but hold on, because this is important, because we don't want to misinform people. Because this whole generational wealth came about when Andrew Holness spoke at length about socializing wealth, and this was through encouraging Jamaicans to buy shares and stocks into government entities. We never heard that term before. But I want to go back. Hold on, you Blair. You Blair, hold on. I want to go back.
Hold on, next time before you go further. The context was as it relates to land reform.
Yes, and I want to go right there. That's where I want to go.
Wealth, that's where I want to go. To land reform.
Yeah, that's where I want to go, because I don't want a gentleman to get away by telling the platform that the PNP, with regards to land reform, has been engaged in creating generational wealth. The type of land reform, it's not true, because the type of land reform that was introduced under the Mandy administration, and you, Blair, you can attest to this because you're an older gentleman, was under the land lease program. And what was the land lease program? In short, the land lease program was a program in which you get a guy like you, Blair, who's at the top of the feeding trough in the PNP. He gets a certain amount of land. He takes a better part of the land and then gives the rest of us a little rock stone piece to go do farming that we can't do farming on because it was largely infertile, right?
Yeah.
And that's how we have the problem in Westmoreland. That's how we have the problems in Portland and throughout this island that are heavily in Northwest St. Catherine, for example. We have had the problem where lands were issued to people in the 70s and they were having problems getting titles because that was what prevailed. The land wasn't given to these people per se. The land was given, acres of land was given to one particular guy at the top of the PNP trough. And he would then issue pieces of the land, articles of the land, to individuals. That's what the PNP was talking about when it comes to land reform. Hold on here. I'm gonna land, you Blair. You Blair, I'm gonna land. What the Prime Minister is talking about. The Prime Minister is talking about systematic. Hold on. No, hold on here. The Prime Minister is talking about. I know. You Blair knows. He knows. You Blair is a sensible man. He's been around a long time. The Prime Minister is talking about systematic land reform. We're talking about land reform in which
giving people
are given proper titles so that they can utilize for their
Let me not read the section that you Blair requested. You Blair, I saw what you did there a while ago.
This is a mandate, right, of what NARA will be focusing on, and it says NARA will focus on building back better, safer homes, climate resilient infrastructure, better land use planning, relocation from high risk zones. So basically, those are some of the mandates that we care about. Remember, Bobby Montague have a portfolio to fast track land reform and land titling in Jamaica. This government has handled the most land titles than any other administration. But Bobby Montague on one hand doing that, and then NARA will also form part of the basis in terms of island-wide as part of our resilience program.
Yeah, but I would have expected to hear the word island-wide in the statement that you just read.
NARA is not. Government to establish National Reconstruction and Resilience Authority, NARA, to lead coordinated, fast-track, and oversee national rebuilding efforts in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa. National rebuilding.
Yeah, I know that. National can mean that the government is undertaking that, especially in the devastated areas.
National does not mean three parishes, better than that, man. Come on. You're more intelligent than that, man. Don't do that.
Shocking Fox, let me see him wiggle out of that one here.
No, man, I will just.
Say you're more intelligent than that.
No, let me finish the statement. I am waiting on the purpose-built legislation to be laid in Parliament. Yeah, that is where I am. That is my stand.
Because
fair enough.
He escaped.
And winner.
Masterclass. That's a masterclass one.
And winner. All of us are waiting to hear the figures behind the program. How many are going to be helped? The budget.
Yes.
How many people are going to be hired? And the timeline.
Yes.
But RJ,
if you're not supplied with that winner, may I be honest with you, it means this was just like a 9-day talk.
And guess what?
That's what Chopper said. Chopper said that the assessment is ongoing. No, but hold on with it. Our Chopper said that the assessment is ongoing. How else are you going to get the figures? You can't get the figures without the collection of the data. You have to get the data. You have to put it together. You have to have it aggregated.
He did say until.
No, but you have to get the data aggregated, and you have to get.
But he did say until.
But right now, as we speak, all of that, we're not killing him. We're just letting him know that it is irrelevant to even repeat that point because all of that data, as we speak,
Dexter.
No, it is irrelevant because how else would you get the data? If Chops just lay out, hold on there, my friend. Chops just lay out, and Chops said to him, the gentleman, that right now, as we speak, all of that data is being combined. They're putting that data together. That's what the process entails. You can't get figures. It's like doing a due diligence. You're not carrying out a feasibility study if you're going to establish a business, so to speak. So all of that stuff is being put together as we speak, and then will be compiled and costed, and then the public will know. That's how the process works.
So let me help you next time. What he's operating on is the premise that, hey, because he said it before, over the past government lives, not just JLP, that a lot of promises have been made to the Jamaican people regarding development. And to date, they've just been mentioned names, and then you just don't hear anything about it. He's saying that, listen, yes, good idea to have all of these things, but until he's beginning to see the data in front of him, he's beginning to see the thing take shape and form, you know, believe in it.
And not just that. And not just that. Hold on, not just that. We're not to add more, to add more context to it. In as much as Melissa was a horrible event and catastrophe, one of the things that we have to recognize is sometimes these things give you an opportunity to reset. So what I'm looking for is a properly thought out, planned and executed reset. And something like that can't come with, you understand what I'm saying?
The minister in charge of land reform would have been named before Melissa. Remember that minister was created before Melissa.
But even so, with due respect, the minister is Minister of Land Titling, not land reform. Isn't that so?
No, hold on.
We're grabbing that figures now.
Yeah, he's tilting at windmills again. Look, what I'm saying is, hold on, Mr. Blair. Mr. Blair, hold on. With all due respect, the Prime Minister did say that what RJ just said. Him said we will use this as an opportunity to rebuild. That's why he said in this disaster, as much as it was a disaster. And a long time, even before the disaster, the Prime Minister said we need proper township build out in this
development.
country.
Exactly.
We need proper development. He's been saying that. You understand? Even the same incident what happened over Portland.
Especially with regards to those lands.
There was a fire. There was a fire what burned down a couple houses, and him visit there and him say, this is not what we were going to use this as an opportunity to rebuild. So it's something the government is looking at. Yes, sir.
I sat in a police station once in my community of Seaview Garden, and I was having a discussion with a police. Well, an RJ, and I was having a discussion with a policeman.
A turning point. We consider this a new chapter in our history. We are no longer just going to wait on you to come and register the land that you have been occupying for 12 years or more. We're not going to wait on you to come and say, I have the family land, I want to register it. We are making titling systematic. We are going to come to your community with the surveyors, with the lawyers, with the JPs and other prominent people in the community who can help us to resolve and adjudicate issues. And we are going to give you your title. Because titling,
hold on. We can't pause. Hold on.
Private to come and register the land that you're occupying for 12 years or more.
You see what I'm saying, sir? We are going to bring the surveyor that keep money in your pocket, you know. We are going to bring the lawyer that eliminate two of the biggest obstacles. Cost. Of getting land title done, you know. The surveyor and the lawyer.
Yeah, legal costs.
So we want to understand the magnitude of that announcement. We are going to bring the surveyor come survey the land for you. We are going to bring the lawyer to come set up the paperwork for you.
The Prime Minister did say family land.
No.
Because
no. He said two things. You see,
standing, Mr. Blair, you're misunderstanding.
That is why
you're misunderstanding what I'm saying.
No.
We're not
you're misunderstanding.
again,
You're misunderstanding.
We are making a new chapter in our history. We are no longer just going to wait on you to come and register the land that you have been occupying for 12 years or more. We're not going to wait on you to come and say, I have the family land, I want to register.
Here you go.
We are making
different
titling systematic. We are going to come to your community with the surveyors, with the lawyers, with the JPs and other prominent people in the community. A new chapter in our history.
Let it play out, guys.
We are no longer just going to wait on you to come and register the land that you have been occupying for 12 years or more. We're not going to wait on you to come and say, I have the family land, I want to register it. We are making titling systematic. We are going to come to your community with the surveyors, with the lawyers, with the JPs and other prominent people in the community who can help us to resolve and adjudicate issues. And we are going to give you your title, because titling is not just a private good, it is a public good. And that is what this program is all about. Nevertheless, we still encourage Jamaicans where the program has not been expanded to an area where you live. In other words, we haven't declared your area as a systematic area. We still encourage you to come into the NLA and begin the process of getting your title. So I want to take this opportunity today again to repeat the point. Today marks the mainstreaming of the systematic land titling process. We are going to be declaring more communities under this process. We're going to increase the budget for it, and we're going to go very intensive. It means, therefore, that there are some areas where there are informal communities, where people have just gone and lived on lands. We are coming to those areas as well, because we have to investigate and see what is the claim that exists. This is not about trying to disenfranchise people. The objective is, as far as possible, to regularize ownership. The objective of the government is to give you ownership of land that is secure, land that can be lived on in a sustainable way, and land that forms part of the planned area of the government. So I have appointed Minister Montague with special responsibility in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Infrastructure Development to oversee this program of expanding titling and settlement regularization. And we are going to put the budget behind it. In the next budget to come, that will be significant. So today is...
I open a question answered now, sir.
Mr. Blair?
Yes.
Well, I hear no figures yet, but I listen out.
Settlement realignment, yes. I am comfortable with that, because that is what I really wanted. Because if we are just speaking about adverse possession of 12 years, that only applicable to private lands. Government land is 60 years. So the last
but that has been reduced,
the last part of the statement of the Prime Minister is what give me comfort to say that that is the plan. What I would want is legislate. Well,
that was a public speech.
I understand, but that I want to see a white paper or a green paper. No, I want the whole aspect of it to be legislated.
Exactly, and not just that.
So
honest question. We know.
It is binding on any government which is in power.
Right, we know, and Chuck, and this is an honest question.
Well, that's true.
Wait, no. When he said
it's binding, but government can change the legislation, so. Well, yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
We know. When he said made specific reference to 12 years, and this is an open question. It's not a trick question. You're saying that is an implication that the overall requirement for all lands have been reduced to 12 years? Or was it a case where he was indirectly alluding to adverse possession? And the reason why I'm asking this, you don't want it to be a case where, and I'm not saying he was or he wasn't, I'm genuinely asking the question. You don't want it to be a case where in his mind, he was specifically referencing adverse possession and not necessarily total and complete reduction across the board for how many years you have to occupy land. I think that needs to be clearly clarified.
Can I say something? RJ, that is a very fair question. Very, very reasonable question that we need to find the answer to. You understand? Very quick, fair question. I'm going to look and check. But it's and I
appreciate that
it goes across the board. Honestly, I think I hope it goes across the board.
I know
as it is right now.
Government line has been reduced to 25 years, if I'm not mistaken.
No. It is still 60 years. It is.
Chuck, and I might just say
it is still 60 years.
Jalix, you can say that request.
The People's National Party, please.
Let us look at it.
The People's National Party proposed 25 years, but it is still 60 years.
Hold on. Even without the adverse possession, government land in focus. Remember, the government objective is to remove squatting. You can't just take out people and dash them away without having a place to live. So the government must provide a formal space. If you want this man to squatting, a formal space must be created to house these people. Not necessarily free, but a formal option should be given to Jamaicans.
I agree with you.
And that is part of NARA. That is part of NARA.
But you see why I specifically wanted to know more about this, because here it is that, who was it? I think it's Dexter just clarified, say it really only was referring to adverse possession. So you realize it actually changed.
No, Dexter never. You see that's the problem. Dexter never. Skyfall say he's gonna check to make sure that
Dexter
what
was
asking
saying, yeah,
can be
Dexter
answered.
Dexter was
I
saying
think I raised that
still
issue.
60 years.
But
I
that
think
was
I
you,
raised
Blair,
that
RJ.
issue.
That wasn't me. That was you, Blair.
No, man, you just said that the public for public lands is still 60 years.
Yeah, I said it. I said it is still 60 years. It's not. Somebody said it was 25, but I said no. The PNP in its last election, one of its platform proposals was that to reduce the ownership of crown lands down from 60 to 25, but it is still 60.
Yeah, but understand what I'm saying. If it is still 60 on paper right now, as of today, it means that his speech indirectly only applies to adverse possession.
No, but RJ,
No.
You understand what I'm saying?
RJ,
No, but adverse possession,
RJ,
adverse possession. Hold on there, Chuck. Let me just help him out with this. Adverse possession, includes both ownership of occupancy of private land and crown land. That's what adverse, because but listen to the difference. If you sit on my land, my piece of land, for 12 years, right? Then there is no, I don't pay any taxes on
undisturbed.
it. There was nobody disturbing you. Yeah, that's what I'm coming to. That's what I'm coming to. Yeah, I'm just breaking down the factors. So I never used, because he could be on it undisturbed, and I used to. That is what the problem was in Orange Bay, down in Westmoreland, that led to the PNP unaliving the owner of that land. But I'm just saying that if you are on that piece of land,
Why have you said that, Dexter? Really?
Because that's true. It's a fact, isn't it? The fact. It was the PNP people who did it.
Dexter,
Can I chime in?
By the way, let us not
away from
digress.
that.
Yeah, let us not
Move
digress.
Hold on, Johnny.
Let us not digress.
Can I just chime in here?
I'm just saying, if you sit on that land for an undisturbed, and I'm not paying any taxes on it, then you can make a case after 12 years to go to own the land. On the government land, in terms of adverse possession, that's different. You'll have to be on that land for 60 years. And that's where Michael Manley tricked these people in the 1970s, because he knew that they had no chance. It would take 2 generations or more to claim ownership to that land. It was a political ploy designed to keep people voting for the People's National Party in Westmoreland and these places. It's the facts. I don't want to digress, but it's the facts. I have to introduce that into the equation.
We're not having a political discussion, you know.
But
that's not the discussion.
Let me add this to it, you see, in
terms
of
no, it's not a political discussion, you know, but it's facts. I have to introduce the facts.
Hold on. In terms of government land, yes, the time is there. That is 60 years before you can address the process. But the government can remove that at any time and say, we are giving you the land because the government and we can make that decision. So when the Prime Minister says we are going to regularize the settlement, yes, he can do it because the government can actually make that decision to say, I want area there, we're going to still give a part of ownership.
And Chuck, that's what we're saying to you. We need to see. Hold on, wait, Jalix, just give me a second. Chuck, that's what we're saying. When he makes a speech and say after 12 years come in, it's still open to some interpretation.
No, he did not say after 12 years comes in, Jalix. Stop adding things, no. What he said is that land that you have occupied for 12 years, you can now get. He never said after 12 years.
Fine.
I mean, he said other things like that, you know. He said too that if you are on land, family land, for example. No, hold on. No, I'm helping the gentleman here. He said here, that if you, he said among other things. No, listen to this. He said among other things.
Yeah, but that's very vague.
You have land, and it is also family land that has been untitled. Then there's a path to get it titled, and you can have ownership of that land, show ownership of it, demonstrate ownership of it.
Demonstrate. Exactly.
So it's not just that alone, he said. He said that among other things.
But next time, the most squatter settlement is on, just one second. The most squatter settlement or informal settlement are on government-owned land. Let's not forget that. Go ahead,
so those two will be ready. Hold on, guys. Let me give Jalix a time. Jalix, where's
All right, guys. Yeah, very interesting discussion. I happen to sit on one of the committees, on the committee that determines a lot of what we're talking about here. It's called the Adjudication Committee, and every parish has about 4 or 5 of them, depending on the size of the pretty much every constituency has an adjudication committee. Sometimes it overlaps, and I think we're kind of talking about 2 different things under one. There are 2 things here, and the Prime Minister actually he was speaking about 2 different routes to actually getting land titles. No, one is called systematic land titling, and the other one is called adverse possession. It's 2 different routes. Under systematic land titling, what happens is that by law, the government, the minister, right, as a part, I think it's under some aspects of the NLA Act that was amended a couple of years ago, was put in about 3 or 4 years ago, that allows the Minister of Lands, whoever has that portfolio, to declare an area based on, after them do them cadastral mapping, and they come in and they notice that a certain amount of lots of land in this area does not have titling, and they could benefit from titling provided by the government. So they come in and they declare an area, that this area, we are going to go into this area, and it is defined and everything to say all the lots within this area, we're going to come in and have a program to provide titles for every single lot of land in this area. And that is what they've done. For example, the lots that they did in Lacova the other day, it's under systematic land titling. The lots that they did in relation to the 200 titles that was given out the other day by Floyd Green over in St. Elizabeth, that was done under systematic land survey. So they come in, they bring the ministry, they have a couple private entities that they use, that you just go and you sit with them. Geoland is one such entity. You go and you sit with them, and they will compile a docket for you with all that you need. So the surveyor the surveyor, the lawyer, they have in-house lawyers, anything that you need. You're going to need things, testimonials and affidavits and stuff like that. They come in and they do an entire docket for you. And then that docket comes to the adjudication committee that sits 2 or 3 or 4 times per year. And the adjudication committee now goes through all the documentation. They hear from the witnesses. The witnesses come and say, okay, Matty was on this land for 25 years and nobody has disturbed him. It is posted in the papers as well. Once it's going through adverse possession, it's posted through the papers. And if anybody comes in and respond to that ad and say, no, but there's an issue, they can lodge a caveat, and the process now has to go through the adjudication process in a different way. So it's 2 different systems. The 12-year is what you call land tenure. You have to, once you can show that you're on the land for 12 years, you have not been disturbed, you have shown some ownership or possession. You fence the property, you pay the land taxes, you build a house on the land, anything like that. Those are that they use to show that you have expressed some ownership over the property, right? And if the person that originally owned the property has not done any of these things over the period, you can displace that person's ownership. Once you have that ownership, you can show that ownership over the 12 years. So yes. It's 2 different things. So what the
that was a law introduced by Michael Manley in the 70s to displace
right. So what
people
the
of their
government,
lands.
I think, is going to do is they're going to be pushing the systematic land titling even more, because there's only a couple of places that I know that it has been used so far. I know Bobby Montague had one in his constituency. I know St. Elizabeth has about 2. There's a couple of them that they're doing now. So they're going to be going all out now, because with the systematic approach, you can process 1,000 titles in a year. You know, you can just go into an area and say, okay, we're sorting out every lot in this area. And they send out notices. They send to the lot. They will go and put up a sign, leave a notice on the lot if it's a vacant lot, because they want to sort out every single plot of land. And that is going to have a serious impact in Westmoreland, because we have to be, and I don't want to become political, but the facts are the facts. I mean, in truth and in fact, I don't think there's another parish that has suffered from land ownership and tenure as bad as Westmoreland has suffered, where persons have not been able to put up permanent structures because they cannot get ownership of the parcels of land. Some of it because it is owned by government, but some of it because it's owned by big private entities that own the land. And we have to kind of knock the party that has governed Westmoreland for the last 50 years undisturbed. You cannot say that you have a prime minister that was once an MP in Westmoreland, and you had several government ministers, and to know that Westmoreland has the worst land tenure situation and housing stock in the entire island is an indictment on the leadership of the PNP in Westmoreland over the years.
Yeah, because it was a political ploy.
You had a prime minister down there for 7 terms.
Jalix, it was a political ploy designed to have people consistently voting for you. Because every time you all you have to do is to tell them living in that other parties going to take them off the land.
I hear you,
Jalix.
Yes.
There's a lot of history to that. So I don't want you to just bring political history to it. Because one of the reasons why there is so much squatter settlement is as a result of the closing down of the sugar.
Come on, that link
there
is a weak link.
No man, hold on.
You had a minister of agriculture down there more than once. You had ministers of agriculture down there.
Remember, we are not having a political tit for tat. What we are having is a discussion with the intention of providing solutions. So we don't want to get into a political debate.
But you can't introduce into the debate something that is not factual. You have to speak. To the facts.
Next time, could you also allow me to speak, please? Just allow me to speak. What I want to see come out of this is legislation where land reform, comprehensive land reform is concerned. I don't want to hear about piecemeal land reform in selected constituencies, which is more or less aligned to the government. I want to see a comprehensive set of actions where land reform is concerned to remedy the situation of the quarter of the population which is said to be living in squatter or informal settlements. That is where I want the
and you, Blair, do you know why it had to start in St. Elizabeth, you, Blair? I'm helping you, Blair. Do you know why it had to start in St. Elizabeth? Because St. Elizabeth, according to the study that was done, hold on, you, Blair, I'm just trying to interject here. According to the studies that was done, St. Elizabeth has the most untitled lands in Jamaica. Not because people go there and squat on lands. People get inherited land through family, but those lands are untitled. And if you go back to where I started, I said that the Prime Minister has been on this for a very long time. And if you listen to him at the outset, he identified St. Elizabeth as a target parish because it had the most untitled lands in the entire country. That's why they started it. It's not because St. Elizabeth supports the JLP. It is because the facts are that the majority of people who live in St. Elizabeth do not have titles to their lands that were handed down to them. There are lands in common, lands that were handed down to them by family. That's why it's not about politics, you, Blair.
Dexter, what did they say about history? A people that fails to recognize its history. It's history.
We'll repeat it.
It's doomed to repeat it. And we can repeat the same process that the PNP allowed to happen over this year. And it's an indictment of the PNP, Hugh Blair. I know it's a part, but it's an indictment when you have had a prime minister and so many ministers of government, members of parliament.
Something, because this is exactly what a member of parliament is final. This is what a member of parliament is for. Member of parliament is supposed to be
we still have some of these
legislation.
Chuck, big up yourself, Chuck.
Dealing with legislation. So yes, so when you have a representative in parliament and you have systematic issues like this, like land reform and local issues that it's obvious that the issues in Westmoreland are unique to Westmoreland in terms of land ownership for the ordinary folks. And this is something that you'd expect that your member of parliament would champion. You know, you'd expect that a prime minister would take this up and ensure that this is a legacy that he's leaving with Westmoreland, where Westmoreland people can get property to purchase and to be able to put down permanent roots. Westmoreland is the only place we know where you can move house. You take up your house and put it on a truck and drive it down the road and then and put down back stakes down there. We have in 2025, we have to move from that, and there was systematic land reform that Andrew Holness has pioneered. This effort it's the biggest opportunity for us to, in a big swoop, to be able to regularize a lot of people, because you can go into any garrison area now, you know, and just declare, the government can go into that area and just declare it a systematic land titling project and start the process of regularizing the titles in that area. And bringing
that will be one of the biggest.
And start doing that. That is going to be able to chip away at the 700,000 people that you mentioned.
Jalik, that is what I am saying, you know, that we just don't want to hear one or two parishes. We want to hear of a comprehensive land reform, which encompasses the whole island of
the Prime Minister said that the Prime Minister never singled out any parish.
But it is not backed by legislation.
But Chuck, when he says here, he means he wants to see it. He wants to see it written. He wants to see it in parliament.
It is legislated. It is legislated. You didn't hear what I said. the minister has the legal authority to declare an area.
Legal authority
a
and
systematic.
legislation
He has the legal authority. I'm telling you. He has the legal authority under the LNA Act. You're not listening to me. Under the LNA Act that was amended a couple years ago, it gave the minister the authority to do exactly this, to go into an area, declare it a project and an area for systematic land titling, and to go in there and provide land titling under this new bar, which is 12 years possession. Once you can show that, you come in and the government will sort out the lands and you will get the land. You do not have to necessarily have a title for the land. You just have to show some ownership for the land under the same systematic land titling process.
We use, Jalik, if we use your interpretation of what the minister is tasked to do, then the question of bias would arise. Because the minister in his wisdom could look, not Jalix. The minister in his wisdom could look for 35 constituency and implement the project.
Again, politics too much, you believe.
Again, you say we're not having a political discussion. Yeah, but when you already know,
that's too cynical of you, Blair.
But
that's too cynical of you. That's very cynical of you, Blair.
We are having a discussion geared at solution.
That's very cynical.
Can I say something in Mr. Blair's defense, though? To be honest, if Mark Golding was in charge, I would expect you to ask us the same questions. It's not a matter of trying. Wait, Chuck, just hold on. It's not a matter of trying to be political. If you understand the line of his argument, he's saying he wants it to be island-wide, national for everybody. So
but the Prime Minister has said it's a national thing. I do accept
listen, wait, no, Chuck, just hear me now, reason. All he is saying is he does not want it to be a program that can be influenced by bias. That's all. And he's saying if it is Chuck, wait no. He's saying if it is at the minister's discretion, whether it's a PNP, a JLP, a no P, a LLP, whichever P, then it does introduce the potential. That's all he's saying.
All right. Let me answer that.
But everything has that potential. It doesn't matter what legislation you put in. If at the potential you argue about it,
let me answer it.
Everything don't have the potential. Let me show you how.
RJ,
before you come in. If it was a thing,
because my answer will enlighten you. Let me answer.
Go on.
First of all, you have to understand land titling, man. Remember, this is a process. Land titling is not, you just don't walk into a shop and just take out a land. There are processes, legal processes that you have to go through. You guys want something national, and I said it is national. But we have, for example, I think the last count was something like, if it's not 45, it's something like, it's between 40 and 60% of the lands in Jamaica are untitled, right? You cannot just decide that you're going to do a program and you're just going to have a program of everybody just walk into a shop and just get a land title. It can't happen like that. You have to, they're going to have to be some deliberate, directed, focused effort on areas across the country where you can say, okay, I'm going to declare half of St. Elizabeth a part of this land systematic area, and we fix half of St. Elizabeth and we move on. There's no way you're going to, they do not have the resources to just say, we're going to just have everybody just rush into the LNA and get everybody's title fixed. It cannot be done that way. You're going to have to just have areas that you do it.
Yeah, but Jalix,
let me just land.
That's not what we're asking for.
Let me just land now. Remember now, while the government is doing this systematic land survey now, any person across the country can still call Geoland or call the LNA and say, listen, I have a piece of land and I want to get regularized. I have been on the land for 12 years and I have 2 witnesses that can vouch and can show ownership, some form of possession of the land. You can walk into Geoland, tomorrow morning, and start the process, and you get your land within probably 6 months once you go through the process, you know. So this is not, and this is if you're in Portland, if you're in Hanover, you walk into any LNA office and you can get it done. It's just that the systematic land titling is the arm of the government themselves going out there and doing it, going into the communities and doing it, rather than the allowing the citizens to walk through the door and do it. So at the adjudication for committees, for example, every adjudication committee will probably say about 50 persons, right, that come in and they're going through that process. Are there families that them depend on a big piece of land and then go in and then cut up the land and everybody gets a piece of land and the titles are sorted through the adjudication process. So it's a parallel solution.
Let me say the Prime Minister again, because
new chapter in our history. We are no longer just going to wait on you to come and register the land that you have been occupying for 12 years or more. We're not going to wait on you to come and say, I have the family land, I want to register it. We are making titling systematic. We are going to come to your community with the surveyors, with the lawyers, with the JPs and other prominent people in the community who can help us to resolve and adjudicate issues. And we are going to give you your title, because titling is not just a private good, it is a public good. And that is what this program is all about. Nevertheless, we still encourage Jamaicans, where the program has not been expanded to an area where you live. In other words, we haven't declared your area as a systematic area. We still encourage you to come into the NLA and begin the process of getting your title. So I want to take this opportunity today again to repeat the point. Today marks the mainstreaming of the systematic land titling process. We are going to be declaring more communities under this process.
One question for you, Jalix, after the video. The question is, Jalix. All right, Jalix, this question is specifically for you. Can someone who is living in an informal settlement where the land belongs to the government go into LNA, and get a title for that piece of land is on?
If that person can show, if that person can show that they
has been there for 60 years.
In possession of the land
for 60
more than
years.
60 years, right? And they can show some tangible
for more than 60 years
of that. For more than 60
but
years.
Jalix, you see the problem with that though.
You can actually
Jalix, hold on,
go in and you can make a claim.
Jalix, hold on, Jalix. And no political bias here. You do see the problem with that, right?
What's the problem with that? It is a law. We have to work with the law. There's no problem. We can't circumvent the law.
So at what point? So at what point in time? At what point in time are we going to change that 60-year requirement for crown land? Because this is supposed to be comprehensive land reform. You see, we're not over there smiling up because
and that's why you're not listening to what the Prime Minister says. The Prime Minister is saying that they can declare an area in a parish, whether it be crown lands or it is private lands. I don't know that they can do that for private lands, but they can declare an area that is largely squatter occupied and then advance the whole progress of having systematic land reform. So the minister has that power.
Yeah.
No, but again, hold on.
Once I declare that 60-year rule would not necessarily stand. So if they're going to go into that area and they know that this area is crown lands, the 60-year rule of the crown would not necessarily stand. But if it is declared in a general area and there are government lands in that zone, the 60-year rule would be in force. But let's say they're going into a squatter area that the land is exclusive the government own. they would essentially be saying to the participants that we are going to regularize you, and that 6-year rule will no longer stand.
Will no longer stand. The
They're
minister
going
has
to
that authority to override it.
Regularizing
but what I said before, we said the government can make decisions.
But the government works it out.
The question I ask you, the question I ask you,
Yeah, you have to meet the 6-year mark. Once it's government land.
Hold on, I know all of that.
But Jalix, that means the reform then is really not a comprehensive reform.
One person can go.
It is comprehensive.
And go apply for government land. And they had a 99 person who is on the land. Is not given the same opportunity because they didn't go in. Is that possible?
No. No, that would not be systematic. Would that be systematic? No.
If you don't apply for the land, you're not going to.
Let Jalix answer. Since you want Jalix to answer, let Jalix answer. Go ahead, Jalix.
Let me answer Jalix. Because the point I want to hear you saying, Jalix, is that the reform, there's a comprehensive land reform in Jamaica which encompasses the 14 parishes of Jamaica. Not selected parishes based on political bias.
No, but why are you bringing politics into it, you Blair? That's how you bring politics into it. Why are you bringing politics into it?
Let me ask you a question. Let me answer. Let me ask you this. Allow me to answer.
Hold on, hold on a second. Jalix, make a second. Let me ask you this. Maestro, hold on. Let me ask you this. Can you Blair keep training this political thing? You Blair, of the 713 people that get titled in St. Elizabeth recently, how many of them were PMP supporters?
I don't know, and I don't care to
know. How many of them were Labour Party supporters?
Yeah,
so why are you making an issue about politics?
How many of them were Labour Party supporters?
The constituencies held by a JLP.
How many of the persons that get land title were PMP supporters? And how many was
let me ask you, Hugh. Let me ask you another question. Who do you want to see this work?
I'm done with the man, then you come. How many of the persons that get land title in St. Elizabeth are PMP supporters, you Blair?
Out of the 700, there must be JLP supporters, PNP supporters,
that's
and
not
supporters
the question.
of no
I'm asking you, how many? Yes, they must a two-party in Jamaica, so they must support either party. I'm asking you,
so
how many?
And people when not support no party would have gotten also.
How many of the persons that got title were PMP supporters?
No, I wouldn't have that data.
All right, how many was JLP
supporters? Anybody have that data would be distributing the title based on political
no, you data. I'm trying to tell you
which
that
is exactly why
I'm trying
your
to say to
question
you that such data don't exist. Because there is no part on the application that asks you your vote for. There is
no,
because
let me ask you.
You are narrowing it down to the individual.
Hugh,
you are narrowing it down to the individual while bypassing the constituency represented by a JLP member.
How would you design? Hugh Blair, we live in a Jamaica where people either support PMP or Labour, right? If you are
but Chuck, I thought Hugh Blair said that he would go down. This discussion wasn't a political one. Wasn't that what Hugh Blair said? That the discussion wasn't a political one. So how did he now introducing politics into it?
And this next time, this is when anybody can walk into any LNA office and initiate this process. So I still don't understand what is the issue. Anybody can walk
I just asked you
and say, listen, I would want
from a squatter settlement can go in the NLA and get his title for his portion of land with his squatting.
If he's squatting, wait, let me answer the question. If he's squatting on
this
private
conversation
land,
has never been about politics or political parties. Hugh Blair, do not change it to that. We're having a meaningful conversation. We're saying that hey, the question that you guys were asking were relevant.
Winner.
These questions must
so
be answered by the government.
Let me answer his question, winner.
Wait, Jalix.
Let me answer his question. So let me answer his question. So Hugh, if you are in that same squatter settlement, and you are the one person that you're squatting on private lands, and you've been there for 24 years, and you have put a permanent structure on it, you fence the place, you've been there, nobody no come trouble you upon the place. The original owners have not lodged a complaint against you because you don't see them for 24 years. And you go in to the LNA and say, listen, I have done this and I want to start the process of adverse possession to get my title. You will be able to process your adverse possession claim and you will get your title within 6 months, providing that the owners don't come forward and lodge a complaint against it. If it is that area is an area that is owned by the government, let me finish now. If it's owned by government, let me finish. Let me ask you, so let me finish. If it is owned by the government, you do the same thing, and you can prove that you are you've been undisturbed on the premises for 60 years, you can go to the process and get the piece of land. You can get your piece of land. If anybody else want to get for them can get for them. I don't understand what you expect. I don't remember now. There's limited resources and capacity for the LNA to process a certain amount of titles per year. So you can't just say this thing that you want this thing to be island-wide. It is island-wide. Anybody can do it. But the government, when they're doing it, when the government is doing the systematic land titling program, they have to define an area, right? And put so that they don't overwhelm, so to speak, the LNA. So if they're going to process 1,000 titles in this zone, they process 1,000 titles over there. They have to do it that way. They can't just declare the entire island of Jamaica systematic, and it cannot and process in excess of probably 200,000-300,000 titles. It is going to just bog down the system.
Hold on, RJ. But you Blair, here's how you solve the problem where you have now. Here's how you solve the problem you have. And this is where unity is key. You see the problem you have? You see the settlement where you are talking about? If everybody in that settlement get together, remember the government not declare your area, but if everybody in that area get together and then approach the government and say, we have been living here, we need this place to be regularized, then you can fast track the government declaring it one of the areas.
Well said, Chuck.
You can do it together and fast track.
Well said.
While I will acknowledge, Alex, hold on. While I will acknowledge what Chuck said, what I want is for legislation to be passed for the whole island. You understand?
You blame the thing is already all island. You blame me. I don't understand the problem.
Chuck and people, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Johnny, we're not everybody. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. No, give me a talk for you, Blake.
Something wrong with you, Blake.
You, Blake, good evening.
Munchie, hold on. Munchie. Hey, hold on.
I'm just legislated.
Wait, no, my run. I just want. Hold on, Jalix. You hear me? Jalix.
Yeah, go ahead, RJ. Where are you?
Jalix, listen to what I'm saying. You see, the moment you announce a program like this, but you still keep the 60 years, all of us up here know that the reason why they instituted the 60 years is because most people used to dead before the 60 years.
Nothing about so. Nothing about so. Point about
No,
RJ.
no,
You don't come talk. That's why from colonial days. Nobody. No, just RJ.
Listen. That's before
you will not be allowed to come and put up no false information at 2026. We inherited that from the colonial masters.
And what was the intent of the colonial masters?
Expectancy was
the intent of the exactly the intent of the colonial masters.
Did they tell you their intention, RJ, RK or RJ?
Madam Speaker, that 50-year clause was put into law by Michael Joshua Manley.
And the one before it was there from the colonial people. Right. So what you mean by the intention was because people are got dead? So
the intention was to keep the land as a political tool.
Exactly. Thank you. The intention was to put squatting land for PNP people, voters, voting black. That's the intention.
Thank you very much. That was the intention.
Land, voters black for PNP people. So then
And Dangley does a carrot. Dangley does a carrot every election.
Exactly. It wasn't because it was going to die,
The other thing about it, we have to be very careful, you know, because we have to remember that government hold lands for strategic purposes. You know, the government, you can't just allow persons to be able to
environmental issues, all of that
just like
stuff.
that, because they have to hold lands strategically. The land bank of the government is critical. You can imagine if one day in the next 20 years, the government have no land. You know, the government wants to execute projects, for example, housing projects are strategical national projects.
Road expansion, all that stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't necessarily just say, okay, we must just reduce it to 25 years so that people can probably reduce the amount of land available to the government.
Like across from, you see up at UWI hospital there, you see across from UWI, prime government land or could have expand the hospital up across bridge and people could have, and the PNP take that and turn it in a squatters and look how close we can't even expand the road. We can't even expand the road to make a two-way up and a two-way down to alleviate the traffic when you're going to the hospital because of the squatting land with the PNP put across the free. That's why I come up here to talk to you, Blair. Let me tell you something, you, Blair. The Jamaica culture has changed and the people of Jamaica changed. The people of Jamaica more educated. The people of Jamaica more wise and people want better things for our country. You see, the mindset we don't have in our mind, you, Blair, say government must do this and government. We don't need to take that out on our head. You see what Chuck said, that's exactly what I came up here to say. Why can't the PNP people, Jalix, that is in Westmoreland and the capture land from 1962 winner, why can't they and their member of parliament come together, organize themselves, bring in the talk to the authority, assess the place and go through the proper. Why can't the MP do that for them, you, Blair, and walk it through the system for them? What are we paying the government for? That's why the people vote for them down there. What are we paying Andrew for?
Should be doing.
Why can't Dayton go do it himself, house to house, and walk it through the system? Take up them name, take up how long they live there. First of all, Chuck, let me tell you why, Jalix. They don't pay bills. First thing, they don't have nothing to show, so they live on the land for 24 years, much less 60 years. That's why them a cry so and a cry for government cut down the time for them, Jalings, because they don't pay any bills. So they cannot show us nothing on the land.
He doesn't even have to do enough to do it himself. You know, all he has to do, you know, is just say, okay, just collect some names. Just collect some names in that district. Right. And just approach LNA, just approach
do it as a team. Do it as a team. Why can't they do that? If we don't forget about government.
Titling project. Just declare it. Every one of them just go and just beg the government to listen. Declare here, so because use
one liar, Jalings, and do everything.
Exactly.
So you can walk into the system, name after name after name after name.
And then you can now come. If the government say no, or the government is not, then you can come and make nice. But you're doing absolutely nothing. You're doing nothing.
Nothing.
Nice.
And of course, government declare the whole country. You're crazy, and you, Blair. Government can't do whole land to capture land.
I don't know how much clear I can be made. It is a national project. And as Jalix tell you, that the NLA Act was changed 4 years ago to accommodate
by legislation.
But
land reform should be backed by legislation.
It is legislated.
That's all I am saying.
You, Blair.
Beg a minute. Long time after. You, Blair.
Let me go find the legislation and read it for you.
Please.
Just like 1 minute.
Maestro.
You, Blair. Well, I know you, Blair. Hold on. I keep hearing you repeating, this is not a political argument. This is not a political argument. When that's exactly what you're doing. Let me tell you something. The legislation is there. The NLA Act, the Land Titling Act, all those are legislations. And what the government is doing in line with those. What you are trying to say, and what you are trying to bring on board, is exactly what Madam Speaker come and said. You want the government to just come and say, listen, all of the lands in Jamaica that the government owns, we're going to put it under systematic land titling. It cannot happen like that. Governance doesn't happen like that. The government has to understand how them deal with lands, because guess what? Government can't just give all of the lands them what them have. Because like you said, the government will need land in the future to do things to develop the country. They will need land in the future to probably, again, to have it, put shelters there. That when we have an next 35 hurricane, them have lands with shelters on it instead of using schools. That can be a plan. So that is the reason why government will keep some lands.
Plus environmental issues. Don't forget my
environmental issues too, because if
yeah.
you're going to build house and everything is you cut down tree, it will create environmental problems. So it's more than what you are thinking, you Blair. So the government is putting in place. Hold on. I'm going to address the question you have.
I said that land reform should be backed by a legislator.
But
because what Alex just said a while ago, you know, oh, the MP them should have come together and everybody and carry them go to land agency. What if the piece of land where they are on and the government want it for national development is not suitable for them to live on? How we are going to carry them to national land agency to get title?
So therefore, you should have never mentioned. Well, I know. So therefore, you know, to mention what you mentioned, sir. Well, I know. So therefore, you should not be trying to mention what you mentioned, because the government would have known which land is suitable for housing development, which land is suited for forestry, which land is suited for road development. So therefore, you cannot just come now and say, all right, put in legislation to say the entire Jamaica can now be systematically titled to people to own it. Because guess what happened? If you do that and people come in,
that's your word, you know. That's your word. Not
so what have you been saying?
I said that land reform should be legislative. To
what legislation is going to do?
The reason why I said that is to avoid people squatting on lands where it would be impossible for the government to hand over those lands to them. Because not lands will be able to be handed over to people.
So what legislation you want the government put in to avoid that? More than
land reform. No man, land reform. Comprehensive land reform.
You hear me now?
Taking into consideration that 700,000 persons live in informal or squatter settlements. That is the basis for my argument.
You hear me? It is called the Systematic Land Titling Declaration Act. Refers to Jamaica's systematic land registration program implemented under the National Land Agency LNA and related legislation like the Registration of Titles Amendment Act of 2020 to formally grant land titles to occupants with long-term undisputed possession 12 years through methodical area-based registration using house-to-house surveys, community verification, and adjudication committees to issue certificates of titles enhancing economic security. So I'm telling you, it is legislated. It was an amendment to the Land Registration Amendment Act of 2020 that gives the minister the authority to declare an area a systematic land registration zone and go in there and get all of those titles for that area. And at the same time, it also gives any individual across the island the right to approach the government, right? To say, I want to register my piece of land that I have been occupying for 12 years or more. It is legislated. You don't need no more legislation. We need no more fuck. All we need now is for the government to ramp up the efforts through the systematic arm into the communities, right? While it promotes and educate the people about the program to get the lands through the 12 years, where they can do it on their own by approaching the government. So this whole thing of you keep on saying you want legislation. The legislation is there, sir.
Thank you, Jolly.
It is there.
Okay.
So I don't know what more you want the government to do. It's for the MPs now to represent their constituents. MPs must represent. Listen, The government will never be able to go out there and register all the pieces of titles in one go. So if the MPs know that this is a pressing issue like it is in Westmoreland, they know it's an issue that is unique and problematic in Westmoreland. They should come together and say, listen, let us do this area. Let us start with this area. Stand up in a parliament and make up noise like how not stand up and make up noise over foolishness.
Not irrelevant.
Right now. Stand up and
grandstanding. Grandstanding, Jolly. That's
the grandstanding.
Yeah,
right?
You make noise in a parliament.
So come in here and talk about this. Tell your MPs
the procedures are there. The procedures are there, you. And once the educated PNP them follow the procedures, the parliament will run. But you know what, Jolings and panel? Land, even though I'm political, I don't know me terrible. You know, say land reform is not a political issue to me though. Because I am very critical of my government after 9 years. If the next 4 years and go back to the people with any story about, oh, what am I going to do for land reform? We must put runs on the board as it relates to housing to go back to the people for the 4th term. So it is not political about PNP and jail. That is a vexed issue in Jamaica. But as me said to you, Blair, it go for labor right MP them too, who have people in a squatting situation in a FIDEM constituency, strong JLP constituency. They must make inroads come the next election, you know, Jaligs. They not me no want hear about no labor right, live nowhere and none land title, you know. Even if they don't get the land title, it must be in the process.
I agree.
It is a serious issue in Jamaica. We must fix.
That's why it should be backed by legislation, man.
Backed by
Lord Jesus.
just read the legislation to you. You're deaf.
You don't hear me just read it. You didn't hear me just read it.
I will teach him that sentence.
You need to what I call you here. Something wrong with your brain.
Jalix, you know what is interesting? Hold on there, you Blair. You know what is interesting? Because according to what the young lady is saying, it's about the MP, you know, because remember, you know, one of the constituencies that the JLP has, that has one of the largest squatter settlement, and I think perhaps is the only JLP constituency that has significant squatter community, is Northeast St. Anne. And you see where the leaders of that constituency have put in place the initiative to get those people, those squatter communities upgraded and have the systematic land titling process offset in those communities. So again, what the young lady is saying, it's all about the MP. And I think the problem with the PNP MP is that the majority of them are lazy. And you, Blair, will agree with me on that one.
And they want government to do everything next time.
They want the government to do everything.
Everything. And they don't even want to pay them fee go down a land agency.
Yes.
They people want to pay them fee go down a land agency. That's them problem.
All right, see it here again. Let me read again. The National Land Agency has implemented systematic land registration in order to increase the levels of land registration in Jamaica. The mandate of the Adjudication Services Division, which was created in 2020, which was when I first was started on the committee, is to assist landowners who have been in open, undisturbed and undisputed possession of their land for 12 years or more to claim ownership, such as via systematic land registration process. Systematic land registration process is the methodological and orderly registration of parcels of land in a designated area known as the systematic adjudication area. In January 2021, Prime Minister Andrew Holness declared several districts as systematic adjudication areas. The Adjudication Services Division also acts as a secretariat to the adjudication committees established in accordance with Section 9 of the Registration of Titles, Cadastral Mapping and Tenure Clarification Special Provision Act of 2020. One more you need with it.
Thank you, Jolly.
Read for you, Mr.
Come in, you Blair, and explain what you don't understand.
And as a result of that, the most titles processed over, the most titles processed over a 5-year period was between 2020 and 2025. I think it's almost 10,000 titles were processed over that year. Every year under Lamp was never able to do more than 2,000 or 2,500 titles. And we're up to 10,000 because of systematic land registration. Man, I don't know what
give him the floor, no, Janice. Can you hear where, man? So we yes or no, you
go through.
I am going to send 3 emails to the members of parliament in Westmoreland. Send and ask them to gather up all of the persons and the lands down there who don't have no title to the land and take them to land agency to apply for them title.
When they do that, you will, right? Somebody from the government will come and assess and because you know you have government just like on a parity. You know why I mean you Blair, you guys not pay attention, you know that talk now listen. Down a parity just before Christmas, the government agency went down there, they made an assessment and they said to the people in a parity, we don't sure you guys should build back here because of the river coming, the sea coming and the land is whatever. So when that is the point I'm making, when the Westmoreland people go into the government gonna assess and will make them know if we can't build back here or whatever, and then another plan of gonna make them move them. But at least start the process, man. Start the process and stop wait for Anjo. That's all we're saying.
You see, 50 years long there wait for Anjo. Hold on. You see what I just said a while ago. And then
I want to comment
when the process start.
This gonna encourage. But here's the problem where you might run into. Here's the problem where you might run into in a Westmoreland now, Dayton Campbell. If you lack of light on Dayton Campbell in a central Westmoreland, you can't find him way out. I believe that wholeheartedly. If you came down there and lack of the light on him, he never navigate the way out of that area there because he don't know it. He is not familiar with it. Same thing with Ian Hills. These people are not familiar with the constituency in which they represent. So they cannot then make the kind of representation where the people need. And that are the problem. We have people who represent constituency where them don't know the demographic of them constituency. Them don't know. If you email the camera ask you, most people in a constituency have title for them land. He cannot tell you. Not only can he not tell you, but he also would not be unable to know where he can get that information because him just not embedded in the constituency enough. And you will find bars at the rum bar.
Well said, Chuck. And you know another thing, Jalings, Chuck. I want you, Blair, when you go on the PNP platform, to encourage PNP people, come encourage LP people all the time. Everybody know my mouth boss. To start paying bills. I know I don't want something more than love, but it is very important to have a bill in your name, don't Chuck?
Extremely important.
Start paying one little bill. If I want internet bill, because that is important. That is a way for show you the panel land over the years. If I come and know, then I want pay internet bill, then I want pay light bill, then I want pay water bill, and then cannot pay property tax because them don't have any number for the property. They don't have no name and no number for the property. But these are some of the things where we say to say, we don't want government to do so much, or not do, not lift a finger. Michael Manley left on the land for 50 years, darlings. And then down they sit down and then did not try to say, boy, Michael Manley left for a piece of land, yeah. Make me make me box it around, let me get one meeting and my name, let my name. So when the government come now, we can show government say, boy, this is a family group, is a capture land, and the land all right, and we can go talk to the government. Nothing. One of those don't get spread out.
Let me add to that. Let me add to that. Would you believe that the free $20,000 that the government is giving away under solidarity, would you believe and know that it is my understanding that the PNP MPs are not signing up constituents for it? The PNP MPs are not, all because it's a government program and Andrew Holness might go get a little benefit or a little political forward. They are not signing up the constituents.
Alex, I think that that is propaganda.
This is the type of
Alex,
representation
that is propaganda.
Are giving. It is
propaganda.
It's facts that I know. It's facts that we know
about. That propaganda.
But we don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with it. To continue to sign up my body. Because we will sign up and sign up. We will sign up the people. You people are not
propaganda,
about the welfare of the ordinary man. In the PMP not signing up the people.
That is not propaganda, Hugh Blair. I can confirm that with Jalix also.
It is disgraceful. It is absolutely disgraceful.
Jalix.
No worry, we will do it.
Any member,
we will do it and make sure that Jamaicans get the $2 billion.
Any member of parliament on both sides who deserve them salt would have never do something like that.
MPs, especially the newly elected MPs, are not signing up their constituents.
They're not doing it. Propaganda.
Hold on, Jalix. Let me have a discussion with you, Blair. Hugh Blair, if you don't believe that MPs are laying down on the job because of the party then, so let me ask you this. The difference between Westmoreland and St. James is simply this. Westmoreland is run by the People's National Party. St. James is run by the Jamaica Labour Party. Look at the level of work that going to getting St. James ready after Melissa. So much so that St. James, Montego Bay, is now fully reopened for business. Fully reopened for business. And the same cannot be said for Savalamar. You know why? Because you have one set of people. You have Mayor Vernon, where they are with St. James, where from day one he has been out there. And they are working now. Wait for central government money, they might use municipality money, and they might clean up in place. And they have, I think, what Chap said, I think Chap mentioned the most truckload of debris has been removed from St. James so far. While the people in Westmoreland is waiting on the government to come and clean out them house. Hugh Blair, the mindset is totally different, Hugh Blair. And the only reason why it is not being... Let me finish. Let me finish and I get a chance to respond. The reason why it is not being done in Westmoreland is because if them clean up too fast, the government are going to look good. That is simply it, Hugh Blair.
So
you can't come in and give me your response.
I'm from Westmoreland. I'm going to defend in defense of Westmoreland. I don't want the conversation to be heard and to be understood that all other people in Westmoreland are like what you're just saying.
No.
It's the PNP people, my friend.
I should have said some. I should have said some.
And I tell you something. The whole conversation of land titling in Westmoreland, you know who it started with, Chuck?
Who that?
It started with my former MP, George Wright. George Wright was a man who started the initiative here. He put the idea forward in Parliament, and he was the man who started the initiative under the HAJ to get certain areas. There's a particular area in Westmoreland here that for years these people were living on these lands, build very nice houses and all that stuff. And they didn't have any land titles. And it was George Wright that brought land titles to those people. So that conversation started with George Wright in Westmoreland. So when you hear the PNP talking about...
It goes to the mindset.
Yeah, it's the mindset of the people.
All right. You Blair.
It's on leadership.
Leadership, yes.
But your time, you Blair.
Chuck, we will all agree that Mayor Vernon in St. James would get maximum support from the government.
What do you mean by support?
You know what they say I go, but you Blair, what he's done, him get the same, if he member parliament get the same $10 million, the same that is allocated to every single member of parliament. The same that is allocated to the
Chuck, we can all agree that the infrastructure in St. James and Westmoreland are two different sets of
infrastructure. But we're talking about the cleaning up of the place, you believe. the cleaning up.
But and the sense of urgency. And the sense of urgency.
The sense of urgency, yes.
No, I am certain that I saw Mia Mackenzie and the gentleman from Solid Waste, along with the member of parliament. They launched the cleanup campaign in Westmoreland. I am sure that is where it started.
No.
So I don't
Mayor
know
Vernon, point of order. Mayor Vernon started up in place from day one. He did not wait on the cleanup.
Mayor Vernon never wait on them.
Mayor Vernon didn't wait on the ministry. He didn't wait on the ministry of local government to come down there.
No, but we will all agree that the municipality of St. James has more capital than the one in Westmoreland.
All excuses.
Hugh Blair, let me ask you this. All right, even if them have more, can you recall any level of spending from the Westmoreland Municipal Corporation since Melissa?
Yes, good question.
Any public spending from the Westmoreland Municipal?
I don't believe that any municipality in Jamaica at this time who is affected by Melissa would withhold fund to clean up their area, because obviously that would rebound to political benefit for them.
Yeah, so but I'm saying, then where is the money from the Westmoreland Municipal?
No, let me finish the point.
A campaign already.
They would be stupid not to use money for political gain. You understand? So I don't think Mayor, what name, Lancy or Chancey or whatever I name.
You not even know what name. That's all he is.
Mayor
Delancey. So what you're saying is that the Westmoreland Municipal Corporation is broke.
Needed in Westmoreland.
What you're saying is that the Westmoreland Municipal Corporation is broke.
Hold on.
Can I ask a question?
All
right, go ahead. Come on to your question.
I wanted to appreciate the fact that I want to appreciate the minister. The minister of
Chipot.
Yeah, Chipot. But Chuck, isn't it an indictment on the PMP that a member of parliament can come in our parliament, House of Representatives, come boast about or basically say, hey, me need to get more money because me have more board houses.
Exactly.
When I saw data on camera, basically, in a parliament and he have a smirk on his face. When I respond to
the emphasis should not be on the members of parliament for those respective areas.
Of course it is. The PMP had a responsibility to develop what is PJ Patterson?
Who we put front and center. All of this discussion leave the members of parliament out of it.
PJ Patterson is the longest serving Prime Minister Jamaicans ever had. And he would have had Westmoreland for the length of time. What is his legacy in Westmoreland?
It for 7 terms.
Yeah, tell me legacy.
I can help you with that one, winner. His legacy in Eastern Westmoreland is pit toilet, board house, and no water, and no land title for the people.
Comrade PJ Patterson.
I'm not discussing.
No, we don't want to care about you so far. No, we don't want to care. We continue with this. Hugh, so where is the money? Where is the money that should be sitting in the Westmoreland Municipal Corporation? Don't you think that should be spent to clean up Westmoreland? You?
Did you know that Westmoreland has the most pit toilets, especially Eastern Westmoreland have the most pit toilets in the country?
No, answer the question when Chuck asked, please. It is a very important question, and comrades are here. I will want to show the comrades that when you come on Labour Right platform, we can have a civil conversation because we will not attack you. We just honestly want to know, in your opinion, what is the Westmoreland Municipal Corporation doing with the money when them collect from the business and the people? What are they doing with the money? That's all we ask.
Well, I know that the policy of the local government is that all money collected go to the Ministry of Local Government, and then a percentage of it is sent back to the local authorities. Isn't that so?
Yes. So what they do with the percentage when they get back from central government?
Well, I wouldn't know.
You should know.
Yeah, but you believe that these are the things that
Hold on.
Go ahead.
You can ask the question and answer it at the same time.
My apologies.
I am certain. If there was financial impropriety in the municipality, the Minister of Local Government would have taken step and bring it to light. So I will ask that question.
But you, Blair, you do all right. DJ, you say you have 2 quick questions. Let me make you ask the 2 quick questions and then go on, DJ Patty.
Good morning, Labor Rights and One PNP. I think I've been listening to this conversation for a bit, and I think I just heard you, Blair, saying you cannot put the blame on the MPs for the people not having development. Is that the same Hugh Blair who always saying the government must go help these people?
No, man, that's a different Hugh Blair.
The thing is, DJ, it's when PNP depend intelligent platform and we are speak, they can't keep up, and we not even lift an eyelid when we are talk, because PNP talk rhetoric and sensationalism. Labor rights speak facts and back it up with evidence. That is why Chuck is trying to find out this evening, where is the money that the Westmoreland Municipal Corporation get from central government? Because as Chuck rightfully said, DJ, for the Christmas season, Westmoreland already, and it's not because of government, it's because the municipal corporation claimed to say they don't have no money. Remember, they never have none before the storm, and they don't have done after the storm. And we are asking Extreme can send a request, because this is a civil conversation. I like where you're going with
invite Extreme up every day.
And another thing, winner. Him just said something we need to zoom down and it can't skip over our head. Him say if there was anything in the municipal corporation as in corruption or anything, the minister would have found out and sound alarm. So in deaf Chuck, hear the alarm. Hear Julian Chang and them follow when Julian Chang say, no man, this bad man will clean up the town and vex with Julian Chang and fling out of the group. Here say even the market, the PNP municipal rent out the market to one car dealership and put the people up on the street. People might call it money for sell on the street. You never hear this man Mackenzie after the storm about the 2 brand new billion where the municipal corporation take central government money and bill and then mash up in the storm, because when you check them, they never have been any steal. So you're deaf. You're deaf, you. The problem with the PNP not Extreme and you guys only hear JLP business. Who no hear nothing we are going at the People's National Party. Who no are fast enough with the business while full of business are spoiled. So come back in and answer the question again. Where is the money? Tell us some of the things that the Westmoreland Municipal Corporation did with the money that they collected from the people of Westmoreland for the Christmas season. Come back in and tell. I'm not going to tell you about this man not seeing on TV. What they do with the money?
Can I ask him again, please, what you were asking before? Good evening, everybody, and good afternoon.
Good evening,
Let me just rephrase this question to you, please, because I would like to know. There is $1 billion in the municipality emergency fund, which every municipality is entitled to a portion of it. Where is that money that the Westmoreland municipality should be spending now and before, immediately after the hurricane? Where is that money?
Yeah.
That's the only question.
Very good question. So just later let me answer. You said that it is a $1 billion emergency fund, which all municipalities are expected to get a piece of it. How much of it was sent from the Minister of Local Government.
It is already in the fund, you. Please listen.
That's not what I asked you. How much of the $1 billion local government minister sent to Westmoreland?
Whatever the portion is, Westmoreland would have that money sitting there. It would have been there already.
Yeah, because this man spoke about it. It's emergency money.
It is
You're
for
right.
them to execute. Where is it?
I think you know. I don't think you have enough information.
No.
To raise the subject which you are raising.
As me saying the thing is that we don't see them doing anything. Them sitting long and wait, and that have a problem with them.
No, there are 10 reports. There are 10 reports currently outstanding from the Westmoreland Municipal Corporation that the Auditor General has not seen. Right? Hold on. Auditor General cannot account so far. Jesus. For 2014 to 2015 and onwards 23 from 2014 to 2024. So we can't account for none of them there. 10 filings for the year.
What I'm asking Winner, and we would have known this. Of that billion,
it's not only the municipality of Westmoreland.
No, we're talking about
the
Westmoreland.
Auditor General flag. The Auditor General has flagged a lot of ministry.
Yeah, but
we're not talking about
Westmoreland.
We're talking about Westmoreland.
I'm asking about Westmoreland because, as me say, Westmoreland is one of our major towns, one of our major parishes. It was hit by a major hurricane. And all we can hear from Westmoreland is that we now say, Andrew, nobody now do nothing for it. While and the contrast is that we look from Montego, St. James, whereby that municipality has gotten to work since day one and has pulled themselves out. That's all I'm asking, why we don't see the same level of spending.
Let me answer you like this. I know, Chuck. Pastor Christian Pitney first.
You see,
and that is why St. James is being taken care of, and Westmoreland.
No.
Because it's a bastard child.
You are making excuses.
All right, come on. All right, let's bring it down to tourism, Chuck. Montego Bay is the mecca for one of our tourism hub. That is where critical foreign exchange comes in. The government is actively working on getting foreigners to come to Jamaica to spend, because we're saying to them, hey, this is part of our rebuilding effort. If you want to support Jamaica, come to Jamaica, come and spend. But if we not fix up a major town, we're going to host them. What the hell are we going to invite people to come now?
And that including OGRS.
Come on, man.
And that should answer your question.
That still don't answer your question.
Chuck.
Yo, we need to get our head out of let's get our head out of the political.
Take off the political hat for a minute, Hugh. Take off the political hat. We are not politics. We are Jamaica.
Question, please.
All I'm asking, and you keep trying to find a political answer for a simple question, Hugh. All municipalities have their own budget. All municipalities have their own bank account where they keep money in. Okay? Now, every one of them, none of them never filed for bankruptcy before Melissa. So all of them have some money in a feed them one. We have seen where Mayor Vernon spend for him when clean up the city, and he never wait for central government. He start from day one. Yes. I'm asking you, Hugh Blair, and you should have been you ask them this too. Why we don't see the same level of proactiveness from Westmoreland? It's not a political question, Hugh Blair.
I am going to find out from the municipality of Westmoreland what amount of money them have.
Thank you.
We could use
that are the answer
to do clean up.
Can we get a timeline on when it might
I will ask them, because I am not going to sit here and say yes, they could have done a lot more and not knowing the amount of resources which they have presently. I couldn't do that.
That is what I want you to ask them, you blame. And as them supporter, you have to hold them to the standard. You can't make them give people things to come cost you.
Will you bring me up here? I'm not going to disrupt you guys' conversation. You're having a wonderful conversation. And I haven't blocked extreme dunces yet because I'm hoping that she will learn something. Extreme dunce. I have no history on TikTok. This girl don't sit down here and waste time.
Hello.
Hold on. Let me say what I have to say. I'm not coming up here to change the conversation.
Yes.
Extreme dunce. The only reason I haven't blocked you is because I want you to learn something, okay? So
not changing the conversation. Leave them alone now.
Yeah,
but as I say, you have to.
I don't think we should block. That is not block them because remember say them don't know facts, so over there they can learn.
I'm not block them, that's why I haven't blocked her so far.
Yeah.
Let you speak.
Somebody mute you, Lisa. Lisa, nobody not mute you.
We are saying you and the comrades in the timeline and in the audio page. This is not a political question. We are only on the same page with land reform. We only differ in how we get to the finish line. The laid back thing we don't have and wait for Andrew to come. We the labor rights don't like it. We don't like it enough for we party and we don't like it for Uno. We want Uno to jump up, move around, and start helping ourselves. Because remember, Michael Manley put on upon the capture and it wasn't Andrew. There has not been not one single capture land settlement under Andrew Michael Holness since 2016. And this is not political, this is just fact, Chuck. The PNP cannot point us to one illegal settlement was set up under Andrew. So we are saying that is a PNP create this mess and now I put the Andrew foot to fix it. Fine. Andrew is the baby father for every problem and him is the nation builder and the builder. We will fix it. But we are saying if we can't, as Andrew said, this something we not play, we can't make him play it again. If we can't help yourself, go and go help yourself too. Go on to the land agency, go start out on yourself to show no proofs on the lip on the land for 12 years and start the process till the government come. That's all we are saying. Yes. I don't know, you tell me, okay? So what is the point? Wait, what did I say earlier, guys? I want to talk soft and nothing.
Munchie, do not digress and follow you. Do not digress and follow you.
No, because you said all of the squatter settlement were created by PNP.
Under PNP. Under PNP.
I am saying to you now that 7 illegal informal settlements are in East Central St. Catherine by a member of parliament
Terry Long.
None of them were started under JLP.
Madam Speaker, I'm going to help him. Let him finish and I'll help him.
Yes, sorry, go ahead, you. Sorry, go on.
Illegal settlements are contained in almost 14 parishes.
No, we know that. We're disputing when they were started and got out of control.
Controlled by PNP or JLP. So we don't want the argument.
Yeah, man, it did. That is the fact. That is, we can't change the fact.
Everybody will live from.
No, we're not doing that. All we're saying is that.
She said none was started
and as we go right back to Westmoreland.
No, you, this is important. This is important, sorry. What we the labor rights are saying, our prime minister does not encourage illegal settlement. That is a fact. The PNP encourage it by talking about poor people and free people to live and the land of those rhetoric is what created. Our prime minister don't speak at that. That is all we're saying.
That's
and just to inform the platform. You Blair, just to inform the platform. A lot of those illegal settlements that is now a part of East Central St. Catherine. Remember, East Central St. Catherine was created when? Prior to the 2016 election. And you must also remember too that a lot of those informal settlements were carryover from Dennis Daly's constituencies when that constituency was annexed and the border was constituted to create East Central St. Catherine, most of those informal in 2011. Good. Most of those informal settlements came over to what is now East Central. So most of those informal settlements were actually PNP, was actually in PNP areas. And to what Madam Speaker is saying is that those were not created by JLP people, were not encouraged by JLP people, but they were encouraged largely by PNP people.
But you blame.
That is the reason.
Thank you.
Hold on, guys.
Let me answer Dexter first before you come.
Blur, and it was not answered. Right? We know that people who were destroyed from Hurricane Melissa. We know that, our poverty rate is around 8.9%, and we still need to solve that problem. Are we all willing to pay more in taxes in order to build these free homes for the rest of Jamaicans who lost their homes in Hurricane Melissa? That's all I'm asking them. Are we willing?
You want me to answer that question?
Are we willing to go to the tax office and pay more? Are we willing to pay for our goods and services? Are we willing for an increase in GCT so that we can just eventually just build these homes for free? That's all I'm asking.
The real question is,
No.
Should tax?
Not my question. Not the real question. My question is a real question. I'm asking.
No, you ask the question. You ask the question. You can't determine how me answer it. The real question you're asking is, should the government raise taxes to accommodate the $6.7 billion loan it is taking out?
No. I am asking you, Mr. Hugh Blair, if you, as a taxpayer, is willing to pay more in order to contribute to the process of redevelopment and building. That's what I'm asking.
No, but the redevelopment of homes for the people, the government said that is taken care of by donations. Isn't that so?
Sure.
The 670 million plus the 1.7 million US. That is what the government is using. That is what the That is what the government is using for building the homes.
The government did not say they have
the government said they're rebuilding material and everything will be financed by the donations.
The money that is collected from the Support Jamaica website will be used to purchase building material.
Thank you.
All right, let me ask you. Since you don't want, you're not gonna answer. Let me answer this one. Do you think the government is obligated to build back every house that was destroyed by Melissa?
Government is obligated to build back the houses where the occupants has no means now wherewithal to build back the house. If somebody else can finance them house, fine. I think the government should build back the houses.
The government is not obligated to build back every house.
No, you can't the question like that and expect me to give a yes or no answer.
No,
because obligation of every house.
Is the government obligated to build back?
No, Chuck. No. The obligation to build back every house would include houses damaged for a multimillionaire. So you can't formulate the question like that.
You can ask your question.
He asked your question, bro.
No, the government is obligated.
No.
The government is obligated to build back the houses belonging to
so the answer is no.
So the answer is no. So
the answer is no.
You can tell me.
It's not a strict question. Hey, listen, it is not a strict question to trap you in a PMP or JLP answer. Is it that the government is obligated to build back all homes?
But I want clarity, Winner. I want to know where it says the government is obligated to build back any house.
You can't ask such a broad
question. The government is not obligated to build back any house.
The government
That's what
is
I ask,
obligated to build. Hold on, Munchi.
No, but
the government is obligated to build back the houses
based
for
on
the
what?
people who cannot afford to rebuild.
Based on what law? That's all me ask. Based on what law? No, we had a chop more to answer this. Could you please elaborate on where you get that statement from? The government is obligated to build based on what law?
No, it is the law of humanity.
No.
Where
What
is that
law?
law? We cannot find
Where's
the
that
law
law?
of humanity.
Humanity.
We cannot find it.
Tell me, Hurricane Katrina devastated Louisiana. Tell me how much house that the human.
That's what we want to know. We not say which law embrace this offer.
No, but you don't have to go to Katrina. You can go to Jamaica right here. We have had several hurricanes under PNP. Where was that law?
Exactly. Thank you. That's all I'm asking.
Before we go there, sir, you Blair, you cannot answer that question with such a broad answer, because the answer where you give is a broad answer, and then you come talk about laws of humanity. You see, you Blair, you see how disingenuous you can be? You see how disingenuous you can be? The government action will always depend on its capacity to do. You understand me? So even if the government would want to fix every household that is affected where people cannot afford to build back, if they don't have the capacity to do, they just can't do it. Because the government have to have the resources to do it. And just remember, say, the country still have to run. So the government can't just dip in its coffers willy-nilly. So the government has to act frugally, fiscally. So you can't just come and say the government have to fix back every household that people who cannot afford to do, because trust me.
The question already. Is Hugh Blair, as a taxpayer, willing to pay more in taxes? Will you go out there and put up a placard and say, hey, government, raise taxes and use the increase in revenue to build back homes for these Jamaicans? That's all I ask.
What? Let me just say, I don't know, but let me ask this, Hugh Blair.
You break the no new taxes syndrome now?
Hurricane Ivan, Hugh Blair. Hurricane Ivan struck us in 2004. And then Comrade PJ Patterson was in charge.
Yes, and then in 2007.
How many houses did PJ Patterson build back?
Not one. Not one. It was Andrew Holness in 2017 and 2023 again that made allocation in terms of first come. So in terms of they were building out those estates, and they say, hey, persons who were impacted by Hurricane Ivan and Hurricane Dean would get first preference to purchase their home.
Mm-hmm.
You Blair, I also put it to you.
How many houses did Comrade Patterson build during for the affected person by Ivan?
Under the law of humanity. Under the law of humanity.
Not one.
Remember, we are operating under an economy now where there is no new taxes.
And we will continue.
And the economy is booming.
And we will continue.
Well, you say we have a better economy now, you
yes.
That's what the government said.
Thank you, my friend.
That's what the government
said.
Continue. That's what the government said.
And we will continue.
You don't see it, you Blair. You don't see it.
We will continue.
Winner is trying to ask me now.
Yes.
Because I believe there will be new taxes.
No, there will be no new taxes. There will be absolutely no new taxes.
There will be absolutely no new taxes.
There will be no new taxes.
Jamaican people. New taxes will stifle economic productivity right now. We not allow that.
No new taxes.
We have to big up Hugh Blair still, you know. We have to big him is a man with in stand up. Himself. Me have to rate him. Enough of them
Hugh Blair, me find out recently, and Ingram. Once you take them out of the crowd of bad influence, you can have very good conversation.
No, but Ingram
must agree with you, you know. Then I must agree, but you can have better conversation once you take them out of the crowd.
That's true.
Yes.
And the crowd are them problem. The crowd. They believe so once they are surrounded by PMP-minded people, they must perform that way. Many of the things we discuss with you there, when you play up on the platform, a different conversation because of the people that was around them.
True. Yeah. I feel like you Blair and you Richards, them obviously know what them are doing and know like politics. But when they join up with caution and extreme, I don't understand how people like you. You know, I don't understand with PNP, and it will always puzzle me.
And
Lot of them
Seabreeze.
educated, one queen, and they sit down and make uneducated
No,
people like,
Seabreeze
hear them
switch.
wide all the time.
Yeah,
because
we couldn't do that.
Me can't, me don't know how them, that's why we are never different people, because if me dey on a platform with Chuck and Winner, me normally I learn something me don't know that we tell me, and it's something with them don't know somebody we tell them and they will look it up. You never see a PNP person with a laptop in front of them yet, Winner. Them now check nothing. Extreme liver foreigner extreme, I tell you some things like a facts. And when you ask extreme, where you get these things from? I saw it on the media. I saw it. What?
We're in the media. Pull up it and show me.
Exactly. Me can't bother with them.
Me can't sit down with like, look, listen, even if we were in opposition, right? If Jamaica Labour Party was in opposition and Labour Right tried to beat the PNP, me not sit down on no low IQ reasoning.
Me can't sit down. True.
Me not doing it.
Me can't sit down in a class.
I am not subject to no, me not subject to
and as me say, Hugh Blair, when we turn on this platform, Hugh Blair, me want PNP to come over here with debate politics up and down, you know. But what me can't take is the people, when they tell you something, you ask them what the answer is, so you know already.
Yeah.
You know already.
Like you Blair come and say.
Agree to disagree.
Yeah, you Blair come and say we're gonna get taxes, and we are telling him say there'll be no new taxes, right? You Blair can come back 6 months from now and say, Winner, I'm Munchie and Chop. You say there is no new taxes. We can't talk about that. And we can't talk about that. There'll be no new taxes. He must say yes, there will be taxes.
Okay.
But Munchie, I have to defend Seabreeze, but I don't want you all to call up Seabreeze name. Seabreeze is now a full-blown Labour, right?
Oh, no.
Yeah, man, Seabreeze switch, man. Seabreeze.
When?
Yeah, man.
When?
I'm telling you.
Mr. Seabreeze that beat government this week. What are you talking about?
No. When?
Seabreeze forget about them, man. Seabreeze is no more with them.
No,
I want to defend Seabreeze.
I swear to Mrs. Seabreeze, if I yesterday or Friday, I slaughter we.
No, man, this is somebody impersonate Seabreeze, man. Seabreeze switch, man.
Impersonated that, man. Seabreeze 2.0. No,
I don't have them Seabreeze that.
Friday, Mrs. Seabreeze slaughter we on one platform. Over Noel platform.
Talking about the problem is, Chuck. The PNP is saying that Andrew, so them say we the Labour Right and caring because people outside and Christmas come and Andrew not give them no housing and Andrew will take too long to figure out the system or whatever. And when we ask them one simple question, Winner. Yes, the people may not be outside under PNP, but they were always living in the old board house where they have to live up and move and play. Why didn't Percival do more for PNP people at the 18? That's a long time, a different time now. They don't want with old, because we can admit there's a difference with we talk. We can admit that the government bureaucracy is slow and shitty and frustrating, and we're tired of it and we're frustrated as well.
We need to get fixed.
And thank you, we can admit that.
Here what we can use. Is before Melissa, about 2 years now or 3 years now, Nigel Clark I tell with some of the bureaucracy needs to go.
Thank you.
2023.
About 2023, yes.
Thank you. We cannot
remember when he mentioned moving some of the red tape, the same PNP costs.
Thank you.
Yeah. But let me ask.
Julian Robinson is on record as saying, hey, no, this is going to open up room for nepotism, cronyism, and corruption.
But let me ask you Blair a question since you Blair there. You Blair, give me your assessment. I will give you the uninterrupted talk. What are your assessment of the government response to Melissa? What you think was good and what you think was bad?
Yeah. Newton, my guys.
Yeah, Newton, give you Blair a chance there. Give me what you think was good in the response and what you think was bad.
The government started off slowly. And I would have hoped that the delivery of the food aid or packages would have been data driven. So that one person don't get 10 package while some don't get none. I think the government should have used the members of parliament and the councillors in the respective areas to help to coordinate the distribution of the aids in the community. That is one. What the government has done good is to start to prepare purpose-built legislation. I must give that to them. Because it is foolhardy for every time hurricane comes, some people wash away, some people wash out. I think the country at this time, while its finances might have improved, does not have the capacity to keep funding things like those forever. So I appreciate purpose-built legislation. Even though we now mention NARA, and I would have hoped to see a broad concept of land reform going forward. If the government implement land reform to help the people of Jamaica with land distribution and also to help them with the rebuilding, I would really love that and I would appreciate that.
All right, so what I say the good thing what them do is the bad thing what they do is that they start off slow. And the funniest thing, yes, even the Prime Minister agreed, in the first there was a fumbling. But you, when you say start off slow, in terms of what aspect, remember, you know, the day after the hurricane, the National Works Agency was out there clearing road.
No, Chuck. Let me explain what I said. What I said, and I felt very bad, was the concept of bodies in the respective communities after a couple days. Well, some bodies have to be reburied and subsequently exhumed. I didn't like that. I that was something which I contemplate and very hard at times, and I said that that hurt to the core to know that bodies could be out in the open for such a long time before they been picked up and carried, you know, to give some dignity to the dead and to their respective family. I think that was very, very poor.
You, Blair, and I've been asking this question. I'm going to put this question to you, Blair. Did you see any pictures or any videos of any of those bodies? I mean, after the hurricane or anything? I've been scouring the internet, and I could be wrong. I've been scouring the internet, and I have not seen one picture or one video
the kitchen yesterday,
of any
You witnessed me clean up the kitchen yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Great question, Dexter.
Of any body laying out in the open. I've not seen it. Have you?
Me never see that video.
I have never seen one.
Dexter.
And I was, you know, you Blair, I was on your newfound yes, that's the guy who claims that he was a journalist on over there in England. And I challenged him and I asked him the same question. And nobody to date has been able to answer me on that.
Wonderful question, Dexter. Could you answer that question, you please?
And Munshi, may I add, if such was the case, I remember in the earlier press conference that they did state that there were persons that were unalive that they could not confirm and they won't put it to the numbers. But no such thing, Mr. Hugh Blair. And so if this was the case, I'm sure we would have heard it throughout these press conferences. And so a lot of times, you know, that's why I can't have conversation with the PMP them, because I want to just speak on feelings, want to hear on what you guys are speaking on your platform, but no evidence to it. Anyway, I'm on vacation, but I was my husband, I'm gone.
All right, baby. Answer the question now, you please. Yeah. Well, enjoy yourself, sister. You answer the question. It's a very good question, Dexter.
Okay, so you're going to allow me to answer the question.
Sure.
The absence of not seeing the bodies on social media does not negate the fact that it happened.
But how can we prove that it's a fact?
Did you see
Where's the evidence? Where's the evidence? Where's the evidence?
Hold on. Big a minute. You Blair. I am
The
going
evidence
to take
is,
you back.
hold on.
Hold on, you Blair.
Hold on,
you Blair. Just stick up in you Blair. I'm going to allow you, man.
Extend the question.
I'm going to allow you, Blair. I'm going to allow you. I just want to remind you, Blair, that earlier when a question was asked about the Westmoreland municipality and where's the money, he said if there was issue and if there was problem, the minister would talk about it. Now you're now coming to say without evidence. Not because there's no evidence, it is not happening. You cannot go do that. I'm not going to allow you to do that.
Good catch, Maestro. Good catch.
I'm not going to allow you to do that.
Yeah, because we want to see the evidence. You
Good
can't
catch,
go to court without evidence.
But Maestro, I am certain the Prime Minister in one of his speeches since the hurricane spoke to the said issue and said that for bodies that were buried, they would be exhumed. And the Ministry of Health has subsequently done that.
He said if there were bodies that were buried, the government would exhume them. He never said bodies that were buried.
Thank you.
He's working on what who not say.
Thank you.
No evidence of that today.
During the press conference post Melissa, the minister would have given out information about the death counts. They would have said, we have 15 people confirmed dead and another 5 that we are investigating.
Yes.
Okay? That's how the announcement were made. Right?
Yes, Chuck.
So I don't hear any report of these mass grave that you speak of. Now, secondly,
speaking of,
secondly, you
no,
said
no.
A quick question to you.
I
May I go believe you as a big man when you answer. May I go believe you as a big man when you answer me this question. You say we may not have seen it on social media, but have you personally seen any of those bodies?
Implication, Chuck. Mass grave at implication. Remove mass grave.
No, I change it before me even complete.
Yeah, fine.
But have you seen any of those videos or pictures or anything to support that there were bodies that are lying around?
And bodies that were buried.
I saw a burial spot where one person was buried.
One
before the body was exhumed.
Okay, one. All right.
So let me ask a question.
I saw that on social media.
Can I care about you there, please?
Hold on,
Kings.
If 45 persons have been confirmed unalive by Melissa, correct? That's it.
Yes. Yes. And there are some still they don't find. They were saying and they still have, I don't remember exactly the amount that they still did.
Them said 45 confirmed, 32 yet to be confirmed.
It wasn't so much.
And
a
32 missing.
And a 32, you believe.
No, it wasn't so much. It wasn't so much.
And 14 missing. Check the stats. Check the stats.
No, don't worry.
We check it. But it wasn't so much. Not 35.
I need to plug on my computer. Hold on, let me check it.
It wasn't so much. It's 45.
Can I care about you, Blair, to something that he said earlier, please?
It is 45, but I don't remember.
Mr. Blair.
They still
Mr. Blair, you stated that the donation collected by the Support Jamaica will be used to help reconstruction.
It to be confirmed.
The PNP has announced that it's going to build one house in each constituency. Is that going to be a board house or a concrete house? And is this money coming from the money that the PNP has collected on their fundraising? And how much money has the PNP collected from their fundraising?
To answer the first part of your question, I have not get any communique or have any communication that what you said, the PNP said it. so I can't speak to it. I have not ascertained. Hold on. I have not ascertained the amount of money the People's National Party collected through their portal. But as a party of transparency and accountability, that information must be forthcoming. And it will be made public. It will be made public.
I welcome that comment. So
Thank you.
You didn't hear that the PNP is going to build 6 houses in each constituency. That was effective.
I hear a lot of things about the PNP, which was not said by the PNP. No, I don't know about that. That information was not communicated to me. And I am one of the first person to hear news coming out of the Secretariat of the People's National Party.
Yeah.
So I can't comment on what I don't know.
It was said. But I'm gonna ask you, sir, as a PNP and a cheerleader for the PNP, please find us for us. Like we are
not
going
a
to wait.
Cheerleader, a member and a supporter.
Right.
Not a cheerleader.
Right. So I'm gonna ask you, sir, please to check that out for us. And the next time we see you, we would like to have that answer if it is all possible. They are going to build 6 houses, whether these houses are going to be a 12 by 12 concrete house or a 12 by 12 plywood house. I would like to know, please. Okay.
As soon as I get the information, then I'll let you know. Yes, you find the information from the ministry.
I'm actually the headline when Mr. said 45 confirmed death from Melissa. 45. I'm attempting to do it as we speak. Hold on.
If somebody need a box, you can drop me out, yeah? Please.
Okay, what that one? All right, so this says the number of people killed during Hurricane Melissa has increased to 45, authorities confirmed on Tuesday. 15 people has been reported missing.
I want to ask a question. I've been a listen for
a while. Yeah, that you bear.
When was that dated?
When was that dated? Well, I'm going to say this dated when? This dated November the 11th.
No, man, the last data I got was from the soldier man, ODPEM, at a press conference. He mentioned it.
It was still
45 confirmed, 14 missing, and 32. They can't confirm whether they died as a result of Melissa, yes or no.
So how many persons you, Blair, to your knowledge, because you can only speak for yourself. How many persons, based on your knowledge, how you hear from the PNP corridors, how many bodies are buried without the authority knowing? How many bodies?
I can't quantify that, but I know that bodies were buried.
You know based on what?
Yeah.
No, you know that bodies are buried.
Hold on. They were buried and they were subsequently exhumed as the Ministry of Health has authorized that.
How many?
Well, I don't have the figure. Probably you can ask the
Ministry of Health. But he said one.
But my point is this,
I said one.
But you're saying they. Let's talk. They mean more than one. We cannot both agree, right? My issue, as I have been saying about the PNP, you see, you come on this platform and say they were buried and they were subsequently exhumed. May ask you how many, you cannot tell. You keep using they. You cannot give me the information when the health minister said they exhumed those bodies, because you must know and he must put it out, make you repeat it. But I have never heard it. You said one earlier, but you're still using they. And that is the issue that we have with you guys. Where you guys keep repeating things and people ask you for evidence and for facts and for data so we can look for. We said, we can't find it nowhere. Where are these dead bodies supposedly buried? Where then there? Where information so Chuck and we can't look it up and like the panel.
No, you don't have to wait for my data to look it up. Go on the Ministry
of
Health
website. We can't
and look it up.
trace rainbow. My point is this, everything we want to say is propagandas and lies. That's what I'm trying to say. Because when I bring something to the nation, we must say, well, 4 persons died in Central St. Mary, and they died in the parish of Moko, Joko, Loco, and Doko. And they were buried because the authority never reached the on time. And on the 15th of December, the Minister of Health said that the authorities went in and exhumed those bodies. Don't we know?
Yes.
So you might come about they come from.
That information. Always have something to prove.
But my issue is, guys, all right, so I'm seeing 45 confirmed, 32 under investigation, 13 still missing. But that was a month ago. I'm not seeing anything.
Thank you.
But ask him where is the latest information.
Thank you. No,
where is the information? You don't thank him yet. You don't thank him yet. Where is the information of the bodies that were buried and Tufton went and exhumed them? Could you tell him so he can look it up, please?
No, not Tufton, the Ministry of Health.
Ministry of Health, sorry. Where did you see that information?
Let me see. Ask winner. We will look for the data. No, we will look for the data because I just tell you about 45, 31, and 14. And you disagree with me.
I did not disagree. You said 32 died.
Then exactly.
Wait a minute, Queen. Wait a minute, Queen.
The same data I presented.
You, Maestro, unless me deaf, I remember with me years. You, Richard, said 45 confirmed dead, 13 missing, and 32 were dead and body buried, and the authority go and exhume. That's why I keep using the word they. So what we want to find out this evening is how many bodies were buried.
I don't want to call you a liar, but I just say you're disingenuous. Yeah, because that's not what I said. I said no such thing.
How many bodies did you say were buried?
Panel, I did not say that.
How many bodies did you say were buried?
Bodies. I use the word bodies.
So what bodies mean? What bodies mean?
No, no, Munchie. I did not put a figure to the word bodies.
Fine. I apologize. I did not put a figure. So let's go back to the facts.
Thank you.
When you say bodies, how many? When you use the word bodies, how many does that represent?
More than one.
Thank you. So my question to you, where were these bodies buried? Which parish, which community, when were they exhumed? That's it.
Well, you cannot check.
I'm not seeing any information to support. I'm not seeing any information to support Mr. Blair. It only says that the government is committed to exhuming anybody that were buried because of Hurricane Melissa and what happened in Jamaica. That's all. There's no number to say that.
No, but the reason why the government said that was that they knew.
Because the PNP keeps saying it.
Monchi. This is that. Well, listen. Take the politics out of it. The politics.
Where is the evidence that the government knew about these supposedly bodies?
You cannot argue such a sin. A discussion like this.
All right. Let me ask you the question then. Answer this question. Where is
ask you a question for the
past the question first.
All right, go you.
You see, the question of bodies being buried and exhumed is a sensitive issue. Very sensitive.
But how you know what?
That is your mom.
I heard. Listen, I heard of it in the media.
From who?
But we don't see it. We can't find it.
From who?
Let me go look again.
That is my point, winner. You come, the PNP come to the public told the country of these supposedly bodies.
I actually saw a video of the burial spot.
No, we understand that. But who in the government put all the information that bodies were buried? That's all I'm going to ask you. Which government entity said that?
It is things like those come under the Ministry of Health
Jesus,
or the
somebody help me.
Ministry of National Security.
But they cannot sign it.
Hold on, Mr. Hugh Blair is correct. Hold on, he's correct. One body was exhumed in.
We agree, but he said bodies.
No, we keep the one already.
You know, we keep the one already, man. We keep the one already.
Yeah, we keep the one
But
already.
the bodies. Remember I said bodies, you know. Remember I said bodies. Yes.
Bodies, yeah.
So we are looking for we want the rest of bodies, winner. We want it. We already had that.
Hold on, Munchi. Rusty say more ask you a question. Let me give him a minute. Go on, Rusty.
Because I'm so happy to leave, you know, because we have parliament. But go ahead, one general, my brother.
Yeah, what?
Yes,
yeah,
Mr. Blair. Blessings. Blessings, my brother. You know, Ivan, there was a lot of homes lost. People also died. Did Mr. Patterson build back anybody's home? Do you have any records of Mr. Patterson give anybody, anyone home?
I think that Danville Walker was put in charge of the restoration committee or the
Danville Walker would not have been put
no,
in charge.
The Office of National Reconstruction.
Thank you.
But that's not the question, Rusty asked.
No, but hold on, man. You ask the question and you're looking for a specific answer. That right? I am sure that the government of Jamaica provided houses for people who could not afford houses. Whether
no, they did not. No, they did not. You Blair, 9 months after Hurricane Ivan, 9 months, the Patterson-led administration handed out $10,000 to people affected by Ivan. $10,000.
One such person.
No, Chuck, that is incorrect. That is incorrect.
No, Mr. Blair, hold on,
hold on. I was instrumental. That time I was living in Jamaica. I was instrumental.
Hold on a minute,
hold on. Let me answer where Chuck said.
No, hold on, but you don't answer me yet. I'm not done talking to you yet. I'm going to just going and I can't get to say nothing.
No, you asked
I was one such person.
Chuck answer one part of the question, so allow me to finish the answer.
All right, you know what, I'm alone that something. It's all right. You see,
I was part of the persons.
Mr. Blair, you don't need to be so evasive.
Who coordinated the data for people to get help.
Mr. Blair, just listen to me for a minute now, man.
Those persons did not get $10,000 alone.
Just listen to me for a minute now, man.
Who I personally handed checks to in the sum of $60,000.
No, sir.
That is factual.
Wow. $60,000 for build back home.
$60,000.
Imagine that.
That is factual.
All right.
You understand? Not $10,000.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Finish. Yeah. Finish your question now, Rusty. Yes. I'm finished your question. Wait, Rusty run gone.
Rusty said you're not give no chance. Let me give you that. You said people get up to $60,000. So the ceiling.
Up to $60,000.
So the ceiling and that Patterson was $60,000 for build back people's house.
No, I cannot say that.
Then that is just
I know that the people who suffered damages, not total damages, got up to $60,000 to help with rebuilding. Not to construct a new home.
But Rusty was saying he only get 10.
You Blair, back to the conversation about the dead
because
bodies.
Rusty might have only suffered $10,000 worth of damage.
All right. And you Blair, back to the story about the dead bodies. Blair, that's a long question. Come here.
No, last
yes,
question.
I want to say to you, when you go over Noel, when you bring up back again, say the dead bodies were buried and exhumed. If we don't have the facts of how many bodies were exhumed and not have the data for back, so the guys just stop tear down Jamaica. We don't know. Bill Blair, you know, say 90% of the things we don't talk about over Noel are lies. And the reason why Noel don't want no labor right over there, because we come with facts and we rubbish on false news. That's why Noel, and you Blair, how are you comfortable over a platform that only one say the same thing? We no want no opposition over there.
You know what, Munji? When I asked him about this, hold on, Blair. Blair, hold on.
No,
when I asked him about this specific, when he asked me about this specific incident about the dead bodies, and I challenge him, why is it? Because everybody in Jamaica have pretty phone now. Why is it that nobody has come out and shown any picture or any video of all of these bodies lying about the streets, and are rotting and all that sort of stuff? He blocked me.
Yes. Once you come with you know, agree to the propaganda when them over there talk, Noel don't want it on the platform. I'm saying if Noel is a true journalist, I want to hear both opinion. Bring both parties and tell us come with facts and stand up front of your laptop. Why Noel don't want to liberate over there? Because these nonsense when they go over there, go talk about dead bodies, and when we ask you, where is the evidence? Where is the data? We can only find one single dead body that was exhumed. That is what
absolutely.
We don't know you.
Madam Speaker,
you know who he wants over there, Munji?
When they're over there,
Mama Son. He wants Mama Son. Liquor Coal, you know, Liquor Coal, and all of those people. That's what he wants.
Madam Speaker, when they're over there and like somebody go over there with, say for example, Winner, they start take him down, take down his guns. No, I'm just using an example where you have the information and all of that. They say take him down. I want him to that man. Take him down, man. Take him down, and that's for them be here.
Because they want. Because every day, you know, every Sunday, every day them go over there. I don't know what to talk about. You saw you talk sensible over here. So as it relates to the housing situation, and you admit that bureaucracy is a problem in Jamaica, and we can admit that things are moved so true. Why when you go over nowhere, you can't say the same thing? You over there with nowhere to talk about, yes, and Janagua, good. People outside. Why is people outside? Why is people on the tarpaulin? Why is people, you know the facts. You know why people outside. You know why people
Munchi, where you say me not sensible?
You are.
One of the statement when Noel make recently was Noel
dim your light so other dunce can shine. Why? I like how Mama
one of the statement when Noel make recently, Noel said, since Hurricane Melissa in Jamaica, nothing has changed. Do you agree with that statement?
And you will sit down over there and agree. When you go to that platform, people like you and people like Richards and the people, dim on the light sun, dunce Mama Son can shine. There's no way we can depend on a labor right platform with a dunce labor right like that. You know, we get ignorant, you know, come in like foolishness. And I
you Blair, you agree with that statement? Blair, you agree with that statement? Noel, since Melissa, nothing has changed.
You should ask Noel when last he come to Jamaica.
Well, you see,
Tuesday.
Oh. He came in, I think he came, the last time he came to Jamaica was in 2002.
Thank you.
When they had that Pride parade down there in
Can I
hold on, would you agree with that statement when Noel said that nothing has changed in Jamaica since Melissa?
You see, the question and what Noel presented on his platform should be taken up by Noel, not by me.
But you
I'm asking if you agree with that statement. He said nothing has changed since Melissa.
Yeah, well, there have to be context to that.
What is the context?
No, he said nothing. No, he never give no context. He said nothing has changed.
There must be context.
That's a straightforward sentence. There's nothing to contextualize about that.
Can I get Mr. Blair opinion,
please? Last question before you go further. Let me answer. If we are going to look about changes since Hurricane, what has significantly changed? Because to date, except in Maroon Town, in Akongpong Town, where they have a festival on the 6th of January. I have not seen any mass repair of houses in Jamaica.
You're not gonna see that yet, Blair. You're not gonna see that yet because we're not building back the house at the same time.
Which community you're going to go check, Blair? Which community you go check?
No, I said I have not seen it.
Where did you went to check?
Madam Speaker,
I have not seen
I currently have something up on my screen, right? This is an expert from the World Bank who have been all over the world to view natural disasters and government response to natural disaster. And she says, World Bank hears government's world-leading response to Melissa. What does that mean to you, sir?
I think the statement from the lady was premature. It was premature. And the lady based the statement on the fact that the government presented to her.
No, if you read the article, she was very. That is you.
But she was there.
Allow me. No, we're not allowing you to come with this is a different platform.
No, man.
This is a different platform,
no,
Papa.
All right.
The lady based the statement on what she saw with her eyes.
Yes.
Stop it.
The lady did not traverse.
She did.
She
was in Jamaica underground. She did.
The lady did not go to ground zero.
She did.
We're not bringing back the picture. We're not bringing back the picture, so please. You'll be
Hold on.
The emergency didn't
hold on.
No, you Blair. Hold on, you Blair. Who is that old man in the pink in the back behind the woman? Look at that little old man behind in the pink.
Hold on.
Look at that little old man.
Hold on.
And tell me who's that little old man?
The lady made that statement around 3.
No. You said the lady did not go to ground zero. Who is that little old man in the picture?
No, man. Hold on, man. The statement from the lady from the World Bank was made a couple days after the hurricane.
No,
you Blair.
We're not giving the data.
We not look at when they take a picture. We not look up all on.
We not look up the data that.
Look up the data. We know.
Then that picture. Hold on, man. That picture where you're looking at now is when the heads of state from the various Caribbean countries visited the island.
And that was
no. Blair. What is wrong with you, Blair?
Hold on. Beg on a chance, please. Mr. Blair, why as a big grown man, you're grown your hand in a fire, fighting tooth and nail to be so fictitious? Why you not write novels, Virgin? With all that fiction story.
I say me read, me read and me do research.
No, that's why you're
me read and me do research. Because from my opinion on the platform, from there, none of you guys can say anything which I said.
You know what, I'm trying look here, I'm trying my best to have as much respect for you upon the people in life. Mr. Blair, stop it. Stop it, Mr. Blair. Stop. It must sound good. You're very fictitious. You're lying to your teeth.
First thing that call you a liar now.
You're a man who have respect for me. I tell you the truth. Stop it, brother.
That speech by the lady was taken. I think it was.
Let me ask you a question.
3 weeks, 2.5 weeks into the response.
No, it was a couple days. Couple days after
November 20, sir. November 20.
November 20.
Nobody couldn't go down there. Couple days after the storm, nobody couldn't go up on the ground, Mr. Blair.
November 20, that speech was made. And when did we have Melissa?
November 20, the picture was taken.
They don't see it.
No, the statement was made long before that.
You Blair. Number you Blair.
No, man,
Blair.
remember, so the 20th of November would have been 3 weeks.
Hugh Blair, no, Hugh Blair.
No, me not.
Nationwide news reported on the thing the same day when it was done, bro. Don't do that.
No.
And nationwide news take a picture.
No. The statement was made just a couple days after the hurricane.
No.
I see him there, you Blair. I news. Oh my God.
We know. You said something, man. Go do your research.
Mr. Blair, a few days ago, the government, through the Member of Parliament, Dayton Campbell, handed out some checks, 70 checks to the business community in Central Westmoreland.
Yes.
What do you think of that?
Yes, small business.
What do you think of that, where the government is concerned?
Well, I would join Dayton Campbell in congratulating the government for the initiative to help the small business owners. I don't say anything wrong with that.
So that is a very good thing from the government.
I said I will join Dayton Campbell in congratulating the government.
So why you can't say it's a good
for the
thing?
money?
So is it a good move?
Right?
Why you can't say it's a good thing?
Of course it's a good move to help the small business. All right,
now that we have your attention. Now that we have your attention. What are them saying? Now that we have your attention. Why has Mr. Campbell, Dayton Campbell, not gone and cleaned the roads with the money when he get? What do with the money?
The 13
Why
million.
No. Rusty, you can't ask me that the question there. Because what you're implying is not factual.
Jesus Christ.
Not factual. So I want to answer that question.
You know,
Mr. Blair.
things like this why I'm in a reason with PNP, you know.
Mr. Blair.
We cannot reason with PNP.
No, may I wait, we have to come back.
Mr. Blair.
When the lady make that statement, she made the statement.
That statement, you Blair. The interview. Hold on. No. Let me answer you. I'm helping you. I'm helping you.
No,
hold on. I'm helping you. I'm helping you to answer the question.
Right now. Who you think is more in tune to what is happening on the ground right now?
Me don't need no help next time. When the
lady made a statement on nationwide news in an interview, and the interview was done on the 18th of November.
The lady made the statement to say that the government said to him that they have signed contract for 150 contractors.
No. She didn't say the government said to her.
She did not say the government.
No. She did not say that. No. She didn't say that.
Clean up.
No. She did not say that. She used as an example of how this government has been doing it.
Video or read the article.
She used as an example, not nationwide, you Blair. She used as an example to substantiate why she thought this government was world ahead of other countries that she has been through.
World ahead.
Yes. That's what she, yes.
Come on, that's garbage.
No, you're not listening to me though, you Blair. Listen to me, man. Just listen to me. You Blair, just listen to man. You know, you and I don't like, you know. I'm just simply saying to you that what the lady did.
And land first, Kingston.
Hold on there, baby. What the lady did was that the lady used that as an example to show Cliff Hughes and the listeners why this government was most proactive, right, in preparing for this storm. That was one of the examples she used, what you just mentioned.
Can you ask Hugh Blair if he's an expert in disaster?
No. Hugh Blair lives in New Jersey. Hugh Blair is far.
Because him like Angela Brownberg, I try to disregard and disrespect what the ladies, what the experts say who have been to more than one disaster area, including Gaza, including Katrina, including the hurricane in Dominica, all across the country, the world. That woman will have her expertise and her qualification. You Blair, which is a nobody, is saying that the woman premature and the woman attack garbage. What expertise do you have, you Blair?
What?
You base your opinion on what expertise?
You are reducing me now to a nobody, no?
I'm asking you, I am saying. I am saying,
yourself with your life.
based on the you are disrespect a person who is qualified. And you don't have no qualification in the area. That's my point.
Anyway.
Pay attention. Listen to me for a second.
Mr. Blair.
Yeah. No, man. What other man that we not play with my play?
Listen to me for a second, you.
The smallest countries in the world. I worked in post-disaster reconstruction in Indonesia, China, the Philippines, Turkey. World-leading International Works Agency has framework contracts with all their contractors, so that 6 days after landfall, you have 100 contractors.
6 days after landfall. 6 days after landfall.
These are contracting arrangements.
Not no past me. 6 days after
Could you please
landfall.
listen? You Blair, oh my God.
Listen, you Blair, listen, you're missing the
Listen
point.
what you
Listen.
say about 6 days after landfall.
About Jamaica. We're talking about Indonesia and other places. Listen.
Replay it up because boy, I mean never know so you Blair slower.
We are hard on ourselves.
I'm gonna go again from the beginning.
Play. No,
really no, I want to sit down and listen to you, Blair.
Close the mic. Close the mic.
God knows we can't stand it.
Close the mic. Close the mic. Hold on.
From Melissa is world leading. World leading. This is what she said to us nationwide at 5 yesterday afternoon.
I worked in the biggest countries in the world. I worked in the smallest countries in the world. I worked in post-disaster reconstruction in Indonesia, China, the Philippines, Turkey. Guess what? It is world leading that your National Works Agency has framework contracts with all their contractors, so that 6 days after landfall, you have 100 contractors all over Jamaica, clearing roads. They're already there. They're stood up. These are contracting arrangements that are very rare, even in what we would think of as, sophisticated places.
That's from senior infrastructure specialist at the
You
World
hear
Bank,
that? You hear that, you Blair?
Aldevar Sali.
Hold on.
We are hard on ourselves, We are hard on ourselves.
You hear that, you Blair? You hear what I just said and the woman come and repeat it? That's what I'm talking about. You guys need to listen. Stop trying to talk down Jamaica. And that's what I told that boy. Hold on, you Blair. That's what I told that boy Noel over there. Stop down talking Jamaica because Jamaica is miles ahead of some of these countries. Trust me.
Statement, the lady from the World Bank statement was not made on the 18th of November.
Oh Jesus.
And I am going.
Oh my God.
She said,
hold on. I am going to
the government of Jamaica was able to be clearing road 6 days after Hurricane Melissa.
Because of the contracts that they signed prior.
She's not saying that she made a statement on the 5th.
Exactly. But I didn't know you had to break it down, though. I didn't know you had to be able to guess it, school it, though. Already was saying that we.
Hold on, you there. If Andrew Holness feels, Jamaica feels.
Yes.
The effort to tear down the administration and to paint Jamaica bad to the rest of the world, bro. We need to stop that.
Yeah, man, need to stop. True.
Well, I hope no. Listen. It is all good when Jamaica rise. It rise for all of us. Jamaica is my home, period. Me have a house in Jamaica. Me have my family in Jamaica. Me have children who work for the government in Jamaica. You understand? Good. So I don't want to see Jamaica fail. But I am still saying that the statement the lady made was a couple of years after the hurricane.
No,
it is not,
Mr. Hubler.
Not November.
I am going to
She made a couple days after.
That couple days after, and it took nationwide news, JIS, and all of them to report it at the 20th of November.
But we ask him when what date?
You are showing me
what date did she make the statement? What date?
My name is Blair, ma'am, not Richard.
You Blair, sorry.
You are showing
on
me
what
a picture.
Day? On what date did the lady make it? We want to clear this up. We want to clear this before we go further. On what date did the lady make the statement? Based on your.
No, it's all right. I'm going to research it.
Please. It is important.
So you don't know you Blair.
It is important.
Hold on, man.
Because AIS said it happened on the 17th of November. 17th of JS.
I said to you that the interview was done on the 18th of November.
Hold on. The 17th of November is when the Caribbean leaders visited Jamaica. Isn't that so?
When
the
World
picture
Bank,
bro,
when World Bank did the tour, bro.
That's easy to find out. Somebody could please Google when me and Matt them come to Jamaica. Somebody Google it. But in the meantime, you Blair. I'm sorry.
But anyway, last question.
When you come back here, no problem. When you come back here, you Blair, could you please tell us the exact date when the lady made the statement, and so we can find ourselves online? You hear?
Don't hold your breath, Munji. You might die.
Yeah, because I see you do them in the next time. Ask them for evidence, man.
Now, if you know me, you know, so I don't like misinformation.
All right. You know, I don't like misinformation.
Why are you being a proponent of misinformation?
So when you cock up over with misinformation, you die.
Which misinformation you ever hear me with?
Let me state why I say what I said. Let me state why I said what I said. Can you notice how long I may listen and just wait time? You are saying that you don't like misinformation, but yet still, when evidentially information is put to you, you are saying on the basis of not having the information because you say you're going to research it, you're saying that is not true.
Hold on, Maestro. He said that was done with CARICOM leaders. CARICOM leaders came on the 17th at Jamaica. See them there, they play.
Blair?
You seen that, you Blair?
November 17th. That's what I said. Caribbean leaders came there on November 17th.
Mr. Blair?
You said that when the interview was done with World Bank, that's what you said too.
Yes.
No, man, the original statement was done before the tour.
No, Mr. Hugh Blair, no.
Anyway, guys.
I have been giving you. I've been agreeing with you. When the time you find the evidence, I say yes, Mr. Hugh Blair is correct. Why the hell would I tell Lion?
So Hugh Blair, she made the statement before she come here.
No, man, no.
Hugh Blair, she made the statement before she come here.
Don't any for a soft mode, man. You've been doing good, man. Don't any for a soft mode.
No. If after my research it proved that the statement was made on the 17th, then I will acknowledge it. But as far as I am concerned,
so may I ask her, she made the statement before she come here?
Come on, Rusty, I'm about to be so repetitive, brother. I'm not going to evening, everybody. It was a very good discussion. Very good discussion.
These are
statement before she come here.
You need to come and make we have discussion around things.
Yeah, man.
But Chuck, remember, so we used to have discussion, you know. You know,
exactly.
Are you ready to encourage them to stop come over here?
No, man, nobody can tell me if you stop. Because I have, but you know, once you send me an invite, I'll always come. They always come. You know, I'm not afraid to come on no platform. No, man, I'm not afraid to come, because, you know.
You Blair, I wanted you Blair to follow in the steps of Seabreeze and see the light, man, and come. Before Seabreeze come full circle.
Make Seabreeze.
One queen.
Next time.
Yes, you Blair.
I will sell you the George Washington Bridge here.
I don't know how him I believe Seabreeze. Seabreeze or something. Seabreeze, I look when you come with it. I come agree with you.
Seabreeze just go from live to live and say he done this and he done this.
You're the best man you Blair. The lady make the statement before she come here. You're the best, brother.
PNP, but we know they don't work with facts, Rusty. That is why Noel no want we over there, because once we ask for evidence, Noel a black we and take we down. Once we say to Noel, can we see the evidence? Yeah, later.
Another occasion.
Yeah, man.
And Munchie will still expect you to cross back the floor, you know.
Yeah, man, I soon cross when Mark gone.
All right. Great discussion, guys.
Yeah. Once if you ask the comrade them say over Noel say, where is the proof? Like I asked you Blair a while ago, where the dead body then can't tell me. Noel take you down fast like a lightning if you ever ask them where the dead body over Noel there. And you start to speak and you come in and fling you off. Cause they don't work with facts over there, so. I mean,
the lady make the statement before the lady come here. What a man good.
I saw them steer and what they don't work with facts.
Bye, oh boy. But guys, listen to me now. Guys, I'm working a couple of hours. We need a little short time.
All right,
I need 1 2 hours before work.
Yes.
So we're going to do it again tomorrow.